what everyone seems to know, and without Boly as well, they've struggled, and he makes such a difference. Jonny noticed good things when they've gone, and I'm sure Coady has really missed him. But you see with Wolves, they've tried before, they're not comfortable. It doesn't suit them defensively, and it doesn't suit them as an attacking unit, because they can't get the players they want on the free the players up on the ball who they want on the ball. One of them Neves, the other one is Moutinho. So I think they've gone back to a more comfortable system, maybe with not the quality we've seen them have over the years, but what they have got now, they've got some young up-and-coming players who are now trying to propel themselves as regular players.
And the question, again, is who is going to score the goals for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Right now, it's who's going to keep them out as the Red Devils are coming forward left-hand side. Rashford, corner of the area, up against Hoover, up against Neves, left to Telles, left-footed cross, whipped in, right on the 6-yard box, Saiss away. As far as Wan-Bissaka, driving down the right-hand side into Greenwood in the penalty area, back to goal. He'll go back to Bruno Fernandes, right of centre. He clips it out left to Alex Telles. First touch control, second to pass to Pogba, who's back in the team tonight. Into Rashford in the area, into Fernandes, tries a return ball. Roman Saiss read it well and can bring Wolverhampton Wanderers away.
Read it well, and he was cool as a cucumber with it as well. Defended really well, and a bit after wasn't panic-stricken either. He was totally in control of when he got that ball until he passed it to one of his teammates.
One of many incredibly versatile players, Roman Saiss, at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Played in a defensive 2 against Tottenham, usually in a 3. Seen him play in midfield many times, the Moroccan international. And they've got a few of them, haven't they, Paul, as they have it on the edge of their own area here, Wolves, that players can play in multiple positions.
Yeah, their recruitment is absolutely really, really good. They bring young players in, and what they try and do is obviously earn money out of them and improve the team at the same time. So they're going about it in a fashion which isn't popular, but I'll tell you what, if you're playing within that side, it's very, very popular. And if you're a manager who hasn't got that working in a system like that, I think you get a little bit jealous.
Ball down the left-hand side here, Wolverhampton Wanderers trying to release Neto, the runner, but slightly too heavy for him, and it's gone into touch. He's just rubbing the back of his shorts there, Neto. I thought it might be an injury concern, but I think he will be alright. There's no hamstring problem there. Stand down, Wolves. Sorry to have troubled any Wolves fans out there listening. Neto is alright. Looks like he is staying a pretty traditional front 2 at the moment with Adama Traore, who's not scored for a year in the Premier League now. As João Moutinho clips one out left to Ryan Aït-Nouri, who has scored in recent times against Crystal Palace. 6 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 on Premier League Live. Already this evening, Brighton 0, Arsenal 1, Burnley 1, Sheffield United 0. Goalless between Southampton and West Ham United. And Big Sam Allardyce, well, he certainly made West Brom more defensively solid. 5-0 it finished. West Brom 0, Leeds United 5 at the Hawthorns. We'll get analysis from our commentators around the country at full time in our game tonight, which is still a long way off. And the ball is with Manchester United here against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Nemanja Matic left-hand side, ball forward to Alex Telles on the halfway line. Back to Nemanja Matic again, and you'll find Harry Maguire. Relatively slow start here at Old Trafford, where it's been a slow start this season, until things have just started turning Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's way in recent performances. Here they come now with Rashford from the left. Lovely skill away from Moutinho. Breaks to Greenwood. Tries to poke it on to Wan-Bissaka. Finds Ryan Aït-Nouri of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Neto released down the left-hand side by Vitinha. Overhit to Vitinha by intercept. Starting again this evening. Continuing his return from injury. And he gets United back on the ball again. No Victor Lindelof this evening, by the way, for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka was supposed to be missing for this one, but you just can't trust the team news at this stage of the year because things move so quickly in the Premier League over Christmas. We'll maybe have time for a chat about whether that's the right thing to do later on. Here Rashford looks cross-field, left to right. Lovely pass to Greenwood, corner of the area, right-hand side. Double step over, chops inside, tries to find Cavani. Cleared away by Roman Saiss. Picked up by Maguire in the centre circle.
think what we've seen already, when they do get the ball United out wide, Wolves virtually really narrow. So just when you saw Greenwood step inside, he didn't really have a pass. There was no way he could go in between. No one he can play 1-2s off.
Here's Traore bursting forward here. Oh, wait, lovely skill away from a couple of players. Bundles past one, tricks past Maguire, finds Neto in the area. Pedro Neto shifts right, shoots on target from Pedro Neto, but didn't get the direction. Straight at David De Gea.
Yeah, well, Traore got on one of those runs where he beat about 4 or 5 players. His head was down when you wanted him to lift his head and actually see Nora? Is it Nora?
Ryan ate Nori.
Ate Nori out
As
wide.
in your mate Ryan ate someone else called Nori, if you need it. That's how I'm using it
right,
in the old brain tank.
Well, he was sitting out wide, and if he could have just got the ball to him quicker, it could have opened it up really, and there might have been then an overlap available a little bit closer to goal. Too many touches in the end.
Lovely slip here from Rashford into Greenwood, who made a diagonal run in the area, forced out left. Back to Rashford, takes a strikes across it, and it never really troubled Rui Patricio. Cavani was just sneaking in back post, but wasn't going to turn that home. 9 minutes gone, Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 on Premier League Live.
Well, that was the first strike from United, and as he got that ball, Rashford, you could see he's tried to do over Ronaldo. He's got his head down, and he's tried to strike through the middle of the ball, and then trying to deviate so he goes up and comes down. In the end, he didn't trouble anyone with it.
Big night for Vitinha this evening, the 20-year-old wearing 20 in the heart of the Wolverhampton Wanderers midfield, in between Neves and Moutinho, so well protected in that position. His first ever start in league football. He's only ever been brought on as a sub for both Wolverhampton Wanderers and Porto. So a big night for him, big job for him too. Here he is on the ball, back to goal, about 30 yards from it. Here's Neves, digs one out crossfield right to left, too short, away by Wan-Bissaka, and picked up on the halfway by Max Gilman.
I've just seen him just do that, Ruben Neves, and normally makes that kind of pass easy. Really seems a lot of the players are struggling to strike through this ball over distance.
Down the left-hand side, Neto carries Wolves upfield. And Greenwood hold him up. Wolves turn back towards their own half, and their captain, Coady, back in a more familiar position for him this evening in the centre of a 3-man defence. At times he has looked a little bit ropey in a 2. Here's Moutinho, the Portuguese veteran, left to Kilman. Ryan Ait-Nouri on the left-hand side, up against Wan-Bissaka and Greenwood. Greenwood just nicks the ball off him lovely through his legs and finds a pass back to Wan-Bissaka. Still in play here before Kilman comes in, cleans everyone out, clears the ball out, and that's what you want to see from your centre-half.
You do want to see that. It's an apt name of a challenge like that.
You can see with Kilman as well, he's had a good grounding in lower league football with that challenge as well. Get stuck in, lad. That's what we like to see. Vitinha getting stuck in here, winning the ball high up the field for Wolves, taking a drive too. Oh, and again, second chance for Wolves, and their man going through. This time Vitinha just didn't get hold of it, and it bounces once and saved by De Gea.
Well, I mean, it was a relatively easy shot. More difficult, maybe De Gea made it more difficult than what it is, or it just, that little bounce before made a difference. But we are seeing a slightly different Wolves, because they generally don't start the bigger games too well. They allow themselves to be dictated to, and as we saw against Spurs, if you allow more time to get into a game, they always can get through it. They always find a way to get control of it. Already they seem to be trying to get control of this game.
And they've got it over on the right-hand side here. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Neves back towards Kiana Hoover, brought in from Liverpool during the summer as part of the Diogo Jota deal. His crossfield pass though to Ryan Ait-Nouri, wing-back to wing-back, intercepted by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Mason Greenwood back doing his defensive duty as well. Pogba, crossfield, right to left, nowhere near the run of Rashford. Will bounce through to Rui Patricio. All in fluorescent green away to our right in this first half. 12 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
We've seen already United playing at home have allowed themselves to be dictated to be perfectly honest.
Here's Traore down the left-hand side, beats Boly to a loose ball, end line, cuts one back, dummy by Neto, shot by Neves, another one straight at David De Gea. This one too hard to handle though, so he punches away. Here's Neto, gets away from Matic in the area right-hand side, shot comes in, blocked Maguire. Wolves going through the gears here. Their issue has been goal scoring in recent weeks in the absence of Raul Jimenez. Many shots I've seen them have in the opening 13 minutes of a game, maybe all season.
Yeah, but they're just in control of it as well. Their ball retention with progressive passing has been brilliant so far in this game.
Into Moutinho in the centre of the field, but he's been beaten to it by Mason Greenwood, who can lead a Manchester United counter. The key man, Bruno Fernandes, in the centre circle, helps it on short to Pogba, right to Wan-Bissaka. Pogba makes a run down the line. Here he is now, blocked by Ryan Aït-Nouri, recovered by Pogba, challenged by Kilman. Out of play for a Manchester United corner, I believe, on the right-hand side.
Yeah, they maybe need to take the sting out of the game, Manchester United, and start finding Bruno Fernandes with the ball. At the moment, they're bypassing him, and the one thing they can't do is afford to bypass Bruno Fernandes at this moment in time, because the team, without using him, are not good enough.
It's actually a throw to Manchester United on the right-hand side by the corner flag, which has been taken by Wan-Bissaka. He goes back to his captain, Harry Maguire, on the halfway line. To his left is Alex Telles, who's in for Luke Shaw this evening as they rotate the left-back position. Luke Shaw amongst the substitutes, right to Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes, right-hand side of the area. Great big dummy away from Moutinho. 1-2 with Greenwood. Cavani back heels, cleared away by Wolves. Ryan Aït-Nouri hits the backside of Greenwood, chasing him down. And that's a throw-in left-hand side for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
It's the first time they've really tried to be intricate around the box. United, maybe too many players in front. The ball was touched through to Cavani. He really didn't have anywhere to go, and he's just tried to improvise. But Greenwood wasn't on the same wavelength and just stood and watched as the ball was played to Cavani.
All running through Bruno Fernandes, as you'd imagine for Manchester United, a player that Wolves should know well. A Portuguese international not playing for Wolves. Very confusing. Of course, he has played for the national team with Ruben Neves, Moutinho, Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence, Nelson Semedo, Rui Patricio. It is funny when you think about it. And I love the fact that Wolves have the Portugal kit as their third kit this year as well. The Mexico kit, of course, last year for Raul Jimenez. Good year to have gone Portugal, I'd say. Here's Keanu Hoover on the right-hand side. Helps out wide to Neto, chops in field. Into Ruben Neves, ball hits John Moss, the referee. They play on as it breaks back to Neves. Moutinho left, Ryan Aït-Nouri dummies to cross, then does, but rather lost the opportunity with the dummy.
I just think Aït-Nouri is one of those. I think he's in that position there. When he gets the opportunity, he's got to take it against Wan-Bissaka, because if he doesn't take it, that window's closed.
Alright, Wan-Bissaka in this evening. As we mentioned, we didn't expect him tonight. Was struggling with an injury, but does start in that right back role. Missed the last couple. Wolves had won a throw, they'd worked it to the halfway line, and they found Coady right hand side, about 10 over the halfway. Closed down by Bruno Fernandes. A back heel turn away from Bruno Fernandes there from Coady. Certainly a very confident footballer is Coady, who himself has links with players in the Manchester United side, specifically with Harry Maguire, who they formed a central defensive partnership with him for Sheffield United back in League One a few years ago. Very different set of circumstances now for both senior England internationals. 13-14 season they were teammates. Here's Bruno Fernandes, left-hand side, midway inside Wolves territory. Tries a poke towards Cavani. If Cavani can keep this in, oh, he can. It's on the end line, but the first touch he kept it in. The second touch, the ball just span away. That's a real shame for Cavani. He just came alive there, Paul, all of a sudden, and that wasn't too far away. No, it wasn't too far away, and he's made the pass happen for Bruno Fernandes, and it was the pitch in the end, the firmness of the pitch, and the grass is it's just so low, it's just skipped off the surface and picked up momentum. Good start from a neutral perspective here at Old Trafford. Possession pretty 50-50. Wolves have had all the chances, but United have looked sharp. Here's Greenwood on the right-hand side, found from a Rashford diagonal into Bruno Fernandes, into Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes loop cross is deep. It's over the head of Rashford. Keanu Hoover makes a good interception to head away. 18 years of age, playing at right wing back. Kiana Hoover was part of the deal for Diogo Jota. They say nominally £10 million, but you never really know how that money flows about in a transfer like that. Wolves feel they've got a good player though. Defending for him to do here. Cross comes in, cleared away. Fernandes shot also blocked. Ryan Aït-Nouri with a blast upfield but into touch, and that's a throw into Manchester United. 18 minutes gone, it's still goalless here. Throw in taken to Paul Pogba. Approaching the final third from the right. Wan-Bissaka into Bruno Fernandes. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's slipped over there, and in the slip has connected with Ruben Neves, and that will be a free kick for Wolves.
I think the referee saw both of them. He saw the early one by Wan-Bissaka. He saw it was an accident. He was clever enough to know that. He knows that Neves got caught after, so he hasn't got his yellow card out, thank God. Common sense was used.
But it's a slip, isn't it? I mean, you're allowed to slip over, aren't you? You know, there's got to be some sort of concession for that.
There should be, Tom, but we've seen it a few times when players have done it and referees haven't even thought about that. The objective is to get the card out of the pocket.
Yeah, that's very true. We see it more often than not, don't we?
Yep.
And then when you think a yellow is due for a dive, it doesn't come.
Nope.
The world we live in. Free kick to Wolves on the edge of their own penalty area, which Rui Patricio, the Portugal #1, will take. Blasts upfield. Oh, that's a strong contact there between Wan-Bissaka and Ryan Aït-Nouri. Two players, though, don't put any salt on that. Bruno Fernandes does, following a challenge from Ruben Neves, but we play on. And from being unable to move, he's now up and about, Bruno Fernandes, because United continue the break. Out left to Rashford, found by Alex Telles. We're about 10 yards over the halfway left-hand side. Nemanja Matic now. Back towards Harry Maguire. Maguire into Rashford. Here's Nemanja Matic. Takes all the sting from the attack. Nemanja Matic, but to be fair, that's not really his job to add the impetus. It's Fernandes' job, and he plays a forward pass to Cavani. Won by Kilman, then Coady. He'll find Neves, poked by Vitinha to Traore, who's now pumping those pistons over the halfway line, still going. It's left to Neto, edge of the area. United regroup, but Traore's got them right upfield. Good play.
Yeah, the momentum was lost a little bit because people have initially lost the burst of Traore. Took too long for the others to catch up. No one was able to get beyond for him to maybe to find the pass.
You can't catch a runaway steam train. You've just got to try and get in the way if you can.
Just got to maybe take a few little bits of coal out of it.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Do they have coal these days in steam trains? I suppose they would.
Well, you knew what I meant when I said steam.
Turn off the electricity in the modern train. Something like that.
Yeah, the Tesla train.
We'll work on it, and then next time he goes on a good run, we'll use it. This is like a live workshop. Kilman over the top here to Ryan Aït-Nouri. He's picked it up left-hand side, end line. Ball comes in near post, away in the 6-yard box by Harry Maguire. All of a sudden they had the freedom of Old Trafford. Ryan Aït-Nouri to find the pass. Not sure where Wan-Bissaka was. Pogba forward, block, finds Greenwood, who clips one towards the run of Edinson Cavani. And that one will roll through to Rui Patricio. Paul, what do you make to Cavani starting this evening? His best moments have all been from the bench.
Best moments from the bench because he just doesn't get the starts. That's the reason why. And he's earned the opportunity now, but I'm hoping he's not going to be judged on one game. It's going to be more about his movement he makes for others, the space he creates, the way he brings players in. We've already seen that Fernandes is trying to play through him. The biggest concern for me as Manchester United is in the wide areas. The players are not consistent enough, and I don't think they think before it's going to happen. I think they react, and it works for a little while, but you want a little bit more than that sometimes when you want to play at the top level and you want to achieve the maximum thing you can in football, is that to go out and win leagues. I just don't think the wide players can do it consistent enough.
No, and I'm sure we can have an extended conversation here about whether Mason Greenwood or Marcus Rashford are strikers or wingers, and is Telles good going forward or better defensively? Wan-Bissaka too. We could have that conversation, but there's no time because we have a live game on. 22 minutes gone, and Wolves have won a free kick about 15 yards over the halfway right hand side. Foul on Neto. Moutinho is over it. Kilman's gone forward. Coady's gone forward. Saiss, who scored against Spurs, has gone forward. Moutinho, right-footed. Roman Saiss underneath it. Oh, that's dropping in. And that's a really good save by David De Gea. It's a glancing header by Roman Saiss. And Coady was in there as well, but I think maybe here it's actually at the top of the crossbar and not David De Gea on the replay.
No,
it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, correct. That's what it was. It hit the top. He was concerned about it.
Such a threat, isn't he, Roman Saiss, in those situations? Really good header of a football. Attacks it well. So rarely happens in the air these days. 2 goals already this season for Roman Saiss. Trying to add a third there, but the crossbar getting in the way. 23 minutes gone, still 0-0. United forward down the left-hand side. They have a throw with Alex Telles. In towards Fernandes. Lob back towards Rashford. Heads it to Telles. Back heel towards Telles again from Rashford. Cleared away by Coady. Not very high, not very far. Recovered by Matic. Into Marcus Rashford from the left. Running in field. Challenge by Hoover. Left to Telles again. Breaks off him. Deep ball comes in. Easy catch from Rui Patricio. And that Manchester United attack, as most of them this evening, Paul, comes to nothing. Well,
that's exactly right, and that's the first time we've mentioned his name. Patricio hasn't had anything to do at this moment in time.
Remember, at TalkSport Live, if you'd like to tweet us this evening, let us know where in the world you are listening. We love your pictures as well. There's always some great images we get sent in. One of my favourites is when Sean Nolan gets in touch. He's got back with us this evening. He's a Man United fan, and his dog Shotzi is enjoying her Red Devils this evening. He's just sent a lovely picture of Shotzi in a United shirt and scarf. I love to see it. You know I love a dog, mate. Great stuff. Keep them coming in. If you are watching the game with a dog at TalkSport Live, we'd like to see them. If they're in a football shirt, even better. 25 minutes gone here. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Premier League Live. A burst of drama in the opening few minutes has given way to a rather drab set of exchanges for the last 5 minutes or so.
I think we have to say a lot of that, Tom, is that when United do get the ball, especially when they're deep, they pond it. It goes very, very slow. They don't play with any intensity.
And we know that Wolves get stronger as the game goes on. They've scored nearly 70% of their goals in the second half of games since the start of last season. Scored late on against Chelsea, late on against Tottenham in recent weeks. Here's Telles, left-hand side for Manchester United. Leaves it for Rashford, takes on the full-back. Hits the leg of Kiana Hoover, breaks to Telles, finds Fernandes, challenged by Moutinho. And Moutinho can bring Wolves upfield, pokes to Neto. Not close enough, though, to Pedro Neto. And Maguire will sweep things up. What are you making of the Wolves' attack this evening, Paul? Does it make any sense to you?
I can see what they're trying to do. It's 3 of them. No one's out and out. It's a fluid 3, and they do sometimes try and press the 2 centre-halves when they get on the ball. But I think as an attacking unit, there's a lot there. But the only thing they're missing at the moment in time, Manchester United, is someone who looks like they're going to score.
Maybe Paul Pogba could be that man. Left-hand side, he finds Marcus Rashford. Takes on the full-back, push and run. Gets there on the end line. Cuts it back too. He's done really well, Rashford. But his pass couldn't find Mason Greenwood, who was lurking forward. Back to Matic. Cross comes in. Cavani is there. Oh, and he got a glancer rather than a powerful header, Cavani. Then it goes wide.
Do you know what, Tom? I don't think he actually got a touch. To be fair to him, normally he's good in that situation. He sees what's happening and he makes a run. He's actually offside if he does get a touch, and I think there might have been a bit of a perm on there. You might be right, Tom.
If that was Fellaini, that's him. Because he hasn't got enough volume in his hair, he couldn't turn it home. Gonna have voluminous locks to be a centre forward these days.
Oh God,
if only.
That could be taken the wrong way.
Yes.
Especially if I was to turn up.
Yes, or me in fact, for that matter. Here's Ryan Aït-Nouri, the left wing back for Wolves. Halfway line, he'll find Ruben Neves, and it's out right now to Hoover in some space. Up against Telles, he pokes to Neves. Ruben Neves out right again. Kiana Hoover. Back to Neves, first time cross. It's a beautiful ball, no striker on though, so it goes all the way through to Ryan Aït-Nouri on the left in the area. Pokes to Neto, out of his feet, cuts it back, cleared away. Back to Ryan Aït-Nouri, who takes a shot so bad it nearly hits the corner flag.
Well, I'm going to let him off that one because I think he's really got into the game really well on his side, and he is causing problems. from Wan-Bissaka. The problem again is Wan-Bissaka, who never seems to see anything over his shoulder when the play's on the other side. That was another one, and he's gone into the middle to mark Traore. That's not his man. That is by his man. He has to tell Eric Bailly, get on that man. I've got one over my shoulder. I've got to be prepared to go out. I will help you if you need help. But he's left him wide open. That falls to a right-footed player. That's a striker goal.
You're right, Traore, 19 years of age. Kiana Hoover on the other side, 18. Scored a fantastic goal, Traore, against Crystal Palace in a 2-0 win back in October. Looks a good player, and I think they look better options than Marcal and Ruben Semedo, who have been playing.
Oh, Semedo's been quite poor.
My goodness, terrible. Absolutely agreed. United coming forward though, down Traore's side onto Wan-Bissaka, low cross, intercepted by João Moutinho, the veteran, with a poke forward here to Neto, but he's misplaced that. Bailly has it into Greenwood, onto Wan-Bissaka, back heel Cavani. United won a free kick there. Greenwood's gone down, not given by John Moss.
Well, he had no reason to give it because it was poor. He should be booked for that, Greenwood. What he's trying to do there is let his team down, trying to take the easy option.
Anymore, do they?
No, they don't. But that was the easy option to fall over. He's a young boy. Keep running. Go out there and make yourself known and have a purpose in the game. All of a sudden we've seen Traore, who's already made his point in the game, what he wants to achieve, and he's younger.
I think there's a real game on our hands here. Wolves will fancy this. They're edging their way into it. Again, it goes back to, are they able to score a goal? If someone had turned in that Neves cross, if Raul Jimenez was here, Jota hadn't left, they maybe would already be leading this game. A great tweet from our friend Sean, listening to us out in New Zealand. I'm not going to try and say the name of the town because I'm going to get that incredibly wrong. But it's a lovely picture of him on the beach today, of course. The other side of the world, as Sean says, listening to us. Great to have you with at TalkSport Live, the place to get in touch. We love your pictures. No dogs though, Sean. Very disappointing. 30 minutes gone here. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Tom Rennie and Paul Parker with you. Here's Bruno Fernandes for United on the left. On to Rashford up against Neves, approaching the penalty area from the left-hand side. Tellez in space, found by Bruno Fernandes. Cross comes in rather aimless, and it's gathered with ease by Rui Patricio, who looks to release the big man Traore up front. An even bigger man, Harry Maguire, wins it in the end. Yeah, and he's trying to have a little bit of a rumble there with Traore. I wouldn't bother if I was Harry. High ball from United again, particularly good from Tellez again, intercepted by Saiss. He'll find a short pass to Moutinho, outright then to Hoover, back to Coady, nice and calm from Wolverhampton Wanderers here, as they have certainly, having weathered an early, if not storm, then drizzle, have looked the better side, but they've given the ball away here, just as I say that, my fault. Here's Bruno Fernandes, right-hand side, approaching the final third. On towards Wan-Bissaka on the sideline. Nice pass into Greenwood. Running at Kilman, challenged by Kilman. Cleared away by Moutinho into Neto. Neto going for a 1-2. He's gone down. He's screaming there for a foul from Matic. Right by John Moss. He's not given it. Nemanja Matic, you might have heard there on our effects mic, saying get up to Neto, who hasn't got up yet. And the ball gets knocked into touch for some treatment here for Pedro Neto. Just getting a replay, Paul. Is there much in this? Not really. You've got to carry on, surely. Let's have a look. Whether he gets a poke in the eye or something. Well, to be honest, he knows what he's doing, Matic. He's gone towards him. He's tried to block his line, but he hasn't done anything there that's going to make you go on the floor and roll up like you're a caterpillar. You've got to carry on, play for your team. You've got possession of the ball. He's killed the momentum of his own side. Well, maybe that shows you a bit about the ambition of Wolves at the moment, because if they get up there, you know, the players themselves will feel who is going to score for us, won't they? Paul, before we get the ball back into play here, if you go by the bookies, Diego Costa is the favourite to go to Wolves of all the clubs. They think Wolves 7-2. What do you make to Diego Costa?
Yeah, well, yeah, he adds that little bit of bite up there. He can score all kind of goals. His temperament is an issue because Wolves as a team, temperament-wise, they're very, very good. As we know with Costa, you're not going to change him because that's part and parcel of his game. Does that mean that Jimenez is going to be maybe longer than anyone was actually expecting now?
In truth, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but I'd be surprised if we saw Raul Jimenez any time soon. Following a surgery to repair a fractured skull. Not the kind of thing you can rush. Pogba here as we get back underway with a high ball towards Marcus Rashford, left-hand side of the penalty area. Has he kept that in? If he has, he's just been pulled down by Coady, and that should be a penalty. I think it's gone into touch.
Yeah, it did, yeah. The linesman, again, I don't know if he's been held back by making a decision, but I think that was obvious that he went out of play. Just to read the reaction of the players. No problem with offside. He's made a good run. The ball labelled in the air. He misses his first touch, and yes, it went out.
Yes, but if it hasn't gone out, and it looks like it has, Coady's got two hands on Rashford's shoulder. That's, I mean, he might be annoyed they're playing on because he thinks the ball's gone out. But if it stayed on even a bit, that should be a penalty, shouldn't it?
No, but it would have been pulled back because of the ball going out.
No, but I mean, if it hadn't, Coady doesn't know that, does he?
Oh, no, he knew. It's not going hindsight or anything like that, Tom.
Okay, all right. I'll take your word for it, even though you're wrong. On the left-hand side, Bruno Fernandes.
You are pushing this.
We've got no time. We've got no time. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Centre on the right. Further right to Greenwood. Left-footed cross. Beautiful ball in. Jonny 1-0. What a save by Patricio. It was Fernandes with the effort. Cavani then tries to turn the rebound home, but over his shoulder he turns it wide.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Mason Greenwood, and he's decided just to put the ball into an area. It's not offside. It goes to the far post. It was a great volley by Fernandes. Patricio only knew about it. The moment he bounces down, he gets his body in front of it. That's all he can do at that given moment. Cavani's in and around as you expect your centre forward to be. That could have been 1-0 United, maybe a little bit against the run of play, but that's the first time they've shown any endeavour to put the ball into a dangerous area in the box.
Good play by Greenwood. You've got to feel like Bruno Fernandes, despite his brilliance since coming in, he's not above criticism. That should have gone in there.
Should have gone in, and that's the fact. The first time we've really seen him in the game. Wolves have actually kept him very, very quiet. Well, I don't know. It might be because he's playing against almost a Portuguese side, whether that's affecting his head. But he hasn't had the influence that we've seen of him in games so far.
26 goals scored since signing for the club. Was the player of the year last year for United, having only signed in February. As Traore is bundled off the ball here by a selection of Manchester United players. Up by a goal right now in the league, Adama Traore. Not quite sure what his best position is at the moment. I know we speak about that for Wolves being a good thing, but every now and then you've kind of got to know what your role is. See him played right wing, left wing, right wing back, now up front.
I don't think he was a wing back. That definitely wasn't his game.
10 minutes until half time. Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. In from the sideline. Challenged by Ruben Neves. We're very solid here, Wolves, defensively. It's only crosses so far. Well, United have looked semi-threatening. Here's Pogba. Pokes to Rashford. Controls and turns on the left. Comes back inside. Wants options. Left to Alex Telles, who holds it up. Into Pogba. Back to Telles. Laborious from Manchester United. A bit uninspired from Manchester United so far. Maguire. Left to Telles in a bit of space. Slight miscontrol. He carries on though. Foul by Hoover. We carry on. Rashford. Fernandes tries a return. Overhit towards Marcus Rashford. And that goes for a goal kick. 37 minutes gone. Manchester United 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Telles stays down here following the late challenge by the young wing-back. And maybe just got some studs on the top of the foot there. All the boots are made of Yunan's knitting these days.
Well, they are, but you pay a lot for that wool nowadays, I tell you. It's more expensive than leather.
37 minutes gone. Telles is all right. And we get back underway from Old Trafford, where United are doing what they usually do against Wolves here. and that's not conceding a goal. They have not conceded to Wolverhampton Wanderers at Old Trafford since February 1980.
It's not a long time ago when you consider how much football's been played.
It's 40 years, Paul.
Sorry, would you say 1980?
Oh,
sorry, I was miles away then on that one.
You're still in 1980, aren't you?
I must be. I actually got the Oxford bags on. Got my school books tucked down the side.
You weren't in school in 1980, come on.
I left school.
What were you teaching?
I left school.
We've got no time for banter as Wolves are coming forward here. Neto down the right-hand side. He is fouled by Maguire. Corner of the penalty area. At the other end, Paul, there was a semi-shout for a Rashford penalty. He overrun it and run into a Wolves defender. That wasn't given, but it looks broadly similar to what's happened between Neto and Maguire here, doesn't it?
I think the other one is that the defender's trying to do something while Harry Maguire just stood still. No. He's completely just given the ball away there, and he just took a gamble and he might have got something, and then he's done a bit after pulling the agony face.
Yeah, we're watching the replay of the Rashford incident. Didn't look like a penalty, but we were just hearing there was a little check on it, so we thought it was worth mentioning. He rather jumped into Moutinho. At the other end, though, it was a foul by Maguire.
He actually nearly jumped over Moutinho.
Yes. What can't he do, Marcus Rashford? Great Britain, long jump, high jump champion now. Triple jump to boot. Free kick right-hand side, corner of the area. Saiss forward, big threat. Pedro Neto, who won it, is over it. There's his Moutinho. Whipped in low, flicked on by Saiss, and it's a great reaction save by David De Gea. Always a threat, isn't he, Roman Saiss?
I really don't understand it. You've got your big centre half, your expensive centre half. They've got maybe their main person in the box, their centre half in the box. Who do you think should mark him?
Yeah.
For some unknown reason, it's not Manchester United's most expensive player, the centre half, the captain. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to mark space. I'm still waiting to see Space score a goal.
Corner short from Neto, onto Moutinho, back to Neto, left-footed cross is deep, it's overhit. Nemanja Matic, using all of his experience, will let the ball go across his body and into touch. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, real shame there for them, because they had a nice moment, good moment, bodies in the box, United worried, and then the cross coming in was woeful. So often you see it, don't you?
Oh,
just cross the ball. Just cross the ball, guys. The short corner. Classic example of coaches overcomplicating a simple game. Rashford and Wan-Bissaka combining on the right-hand side. And then, Paul, they just work it into a position to cross it. You were already in a position to cross it. You spent most of the game trying to get to the end line to cross it. No time.
I'll be honest, that's what 90% of the teams do throughout this country. Look to get to wide areas to cross the ball. It's only really in the Premier League where they don't seem to want to do it. You drop down the next divisions, and that's a position of opportunity, wide areas. Get there and cross the ball.
Aerial collision here between Rashford and Ryan Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri goes down. There's no free kick here, but you must stop the play if there is a potential head injury. And I don't think Rashford is delighted about it, because I'm not sure it was a kind of head-to-head challenge, but we've got to check that out before we're able to carry on. Premier League Live carries on tomorrow, by the way. We're not finished in this just extravaganza of fixtures, really. Tomorrow, Wednesday, December 30th, 2 games for you. Tottenham against Fulham is the early match. James Field and Rufus Brevitt, the commentary team for that one, the former Fulham fullback. And that's followed by Newcastle United against Liverpool. Alex Crook and the former Magpies man Darren Ambrose will take you through that one. So another full programme for you tomorrow, and then we get on with even more fixtures in this run of, well, what should have been 30 games in 9 days, now 29, with the cancellation of Manchester City away at Everton last night. A quick hello to Benjamin, who's listening to us out in Alabama. Beautiful day, he says. And he says, though he's wearing his mask out in public, as he should, it can't conceal the big smile on his face following victory for Arsenal earlier. Lovely picture of being out in the woods as well. Beautiful stuff, Benjamin. Thank you very much indeed. Keep them coming in to @TalkSport Live. Let us know where in the world you are listening to us. Elsewhere today, we'll get some reaction later on from our commentators around the country to the other games that have already finished. Brighton 0, Arsenal 1. Big result down the bottom there. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 0. Bigger result down the bottom. Southampton 0, West Ham United 0. Two very even teams who stay in mid-table. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 5 at the Hawthorns. West Brom 0, Leeds 5. Get a point at Anfield, and once you've done that, you go and get thrashed by Leeds at home. Explain that to me. We are back underway here. Ryan Aitnouri's okay. And it's on towards Alex Telles over on the far side to Nemanja Matic in the centre circle. Well, it's a half that promised much, Paul, but has rather gone a bit flat in the most recent minutes.
It has really, but I think that's more down to United. They've kind of shored up a little bit because of the way Wolves are running around them, and they've just got a little bit tighter. When they've got the ball, anyone in the back four, all they've done is try to slow it down when it's gone in there. They haven't played with any great tempo. They haven't looked to get the ball into Fernandes quick enough so he can get things going, and that's what he's trying to do, and it suits Wolves at this moment in time when United are lethargic at the back with the ball.
43 minutes down. We will have a few additional because of the injuries we've had in the game. Over the top here by United to Rashford, left-hand side, held up by Roman Saiss. Overlapping run by Bruno Fernandes, picks it up, cross comes in, whips it right across the 6-yard box. Cavani had gone near, no one had gone far. Recovered by Wan-Bissaka, who runs away from the corner flag and back into the centre. Pokes to Matic. They've got bodies over here. United on the left. Cavani. Short to Bruno Fernandes. On towards Telles. Cross comes in. Greenwood there. Away by Kilman. Good header. Brave header by Max Kilman. Recovered by Bruno Fernandes. Gets away from Moutinho, who slides in with the challenge. Referee says that's fair. And they can break here, Wolves, with Neto, who's got the pace on Maguire. He's got Traore screaming for it. And he just didn't put enough meat on the pass. And Bailly read it well.
He's tried to be too precise with it, and that's the reason why Eric Bailly was very fortunate that he could actually stop his run and collect the ball with his left foot, because he was in a bit of trouble as well. Bailly pushed on a little bit and nearly got caught out.
Cross comes in from United, away by Aitnouri. Further away by Kiana Hoover. Lovely first touch by Vitinha. Second one was pretty good too. And he finds Moutinho, right to Neto, back to Moutinho. Again, there's a break on here. Poke towards Neto, who's got the pace. De Gea's not come. Neto's goal side, right-hand side, Neto. And he tries to cut away from Maguire. Doesn't do so. Held up now by Bailly. And Bailly and Maguire smuggle the ball away from Pedro Neto, who just didn't have a striker to cross to. Yeah,
it was just a shame. He's made a great run. Good ball to him by Moutinho, and maybe if he had a right foot he might have gone direct, but he just didn't look comfortable.
High ball here to Rashford, who's goal side. The ball was just bounced off his thigh and bounced straight through to Rui Patricio.
Well, it wasn't too high. It was a poor touch, I think, Tom, there. Should have done a lot better with the first one. I think you see a top-class centre-forward goal scorer take that ball with the first touch rather than initially letting it bounce and then bounce again. And that's when it hits you and bounces.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Erscoa Kayla. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision, with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance PLC.
The Premier League Live.
Here's the shot away! Goal!
With TalkSport.
And it's half-time in our final game of this Tuesday night of Premier League action. The match comes from Old Trafford. It's Manchester United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Here's the best of the opening 45. Traore down the left-hand side, beats Boly to a loose ball, end line, cuts one back, dummy by Neto, shot by Neves, another one straight at David De Gea. This one too hard to handle though, so he punches away. Wolves going through the gears here. Their issue has been goal scoring in recent weeks in the absence of Raul Jimenez. Greenwood, left-footed cross, beautiful ball in, surely 1-0. What a save by Patricio. It was Fernandes with the effort. Cavani then tries to turn the rebound home, but over his shoulder he turns it wide.
It was a great volley by Fernandes. Patricio only knew about it. The moment it bounces down, he gets his body in front of it. That's all he can do at that given moment. That could have been 1-0 United, maybe a little bit against the run of play. But that's the first time they've shown any endeavour to put the ball into a dangerous area in the box.
Moutinho whipped in low, flicked on by Saiss, and it's a great reaction save by Dendoncker. That's the story of it so far. A couple of half chances at both ends, but nothing really to write home about thus far. Paul Parker has watched the game with me. Paul, Manchester United a bit lacklustre in the opening 45. Why so?
Well, they're playing at home. That's one of the reasons why they haven't really related to playing at Old Trafford yet in the current climate. I think as well we have to say is that they haven't really gone against anybody with any great purpose when they've played at home. Teams have gone there and a lot of them have gone and taken the lead, and I think a lot of it has to be put down to Wolves. Wolves have nullified their main man Bruno Fernandes, and that's not having one man around him trying to man mark him. That is actually nullifying the places where he can actually pass the ball, because he hasn't really opened Wolves up at all. I think there's been, if I can remember, a run by Marcus Rashford at the end where he should have done better with his first and second touch, but other than that really, and he nearly got on the back post and scored as well, Fernandes, but he has not been involved in anything Manchester United going forward really at all. He hasn't really been there, and that tells you, as we've seen already, that United have been poor.
Is the balance right for United with Pogba, Matic and Fernandes, the trio?
I still would like somehow, when I look at Pogba, and I think if they want to put a little bit more dynamism in that midfield, I would go and look at Van der Beek, because he can get up and he can get back, and he'd be a different person for them to mark, because he's not laboured in his running. He's got a little bit more about going forward. He looks to play little 1-2s around the box as well. I just think he makes a difference in that different field, and he could add something to Manchester United at this moment in time.
Wolves fans listening to this will know my next question to you. How are Wolves going to score a goal without Raul Jimenez?
Saiss, maybe, from a dead ball situation. Maybe Traore might, a moment of magic. Neto definitely can produce moments of magic. He's still learning the game. They just need to find someone who's just going to step forward, and they always look like a side who are going to score the perfect goal. They're one of the sides I'd watch week in, week out. Every time they play, I want to watch them. You know, when you've got like a Moutinho and you've got a Neves, you know, you think I'm thinking of Neves, and you think he's 40 years of age. He's still a young player, but what a player he is. I remember watching him play in the Champions League. So they've got a lot there. It's just that they are missing that stand-up person, that goal scorer. But Jimenez was just more than a goal scorer. How many goals did he make as well? Yeah. You know, just by his movement, or just by heading the ball down, touching the ball back for people. You know, we saw the best of him in the latter part before what happened to him. But prior to that, he was just as good but never got the mentions.
Paul, for the moment, thank you very much indeed. Half-time here, Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Second half coming up next. 2 games for you tomorrow. Newcastle against Liverpool is the late game. The early is Tottenham up against Fulham. Let's hear from the two bosses, Jose Mourinho and Scott Parker.
It's always tough. Independent of results, is always tough. And of course, Fulham now they play in a different way. They forgot some of the principles that they believed in. They have new principles of play. They are getting very positive results, and it's going, of course, to be difficult.
I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going back there. I spent 3 years at Spurs as a player, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I had a brilliant rapport with the fans, and obviously then went back there as developing the younger players. So I'm looking forward to going back. Obviously as a manager of a team now, and yeah. So yeah, I am looking back to see some faces, familiar faces, and faces what obviously I spent a lot of time with.
Yeah, of course, Scott Parker has played for, 25% of the Premier League, so it's familiar faces everywhere he goes. But of course, most recently at Tottenham Hotspur, where he went on to become England captain whilst he was there. Elsewhere this evening, a few other results in the Premier League to tell you about. What a result for Arsenal, who continue their much-needed revival with a victory over Brighton. Alexandre Lacazette came on and scored after 29 seconds as a second-half substitute to get Arsenal a much-needed win there. They're up to 20 points, 9 clear of the relegation zone, putting maybe an end to that discussion about maybe getting relegated for this season at least. For Burnley, their recent improvement continues. They edged a narrow victory over Sheffield United. Would you believe it? They scored from a corner. Ben Mee's header giving Burnley 3 points there. They're up to 16. Sheffield United, well, they remain rock bottom. 2 points from 16 games. It's so bad, I think they're about to sign Robbie Savage. Elsewhere, Southampton 0, West Ham United 0. Chances at both ends, but in the end, 2 very even sides nullify each other. And what about this? West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 5. Sawyer's own goal, Alioski, Harrison, Rodrigo, all on the score sheet in that one. Rafinha with the last one. And it really was a clash of styles, which Bielsa won out against Big Sam. We're going to hear from our commentators later who covered those games, so stay with us until 10:30 local time at the full-time whistle at Old Trafford, where we're going to find out what happened in all of those games and look ahead in further detail to tomorrow too, as I say, Tottenham, Fulham and Newcastle, Liverpool. Here though, it's half-time at Old Trafford, where there has been some half chances, but nothing of great note so far. 3 points in the offing for these two, as Manchester United look to close the gap at the top of the table to just 1 point, whereas Wolverhampton Wanderers are hoping to get into the top half. Kick-off in the second half is up next. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tyres. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimetres. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football, plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Certainty. With Volkswagen commercial vehicles, it's included as standard. The Crafter, Transporter and the all-new 5th generation Coady are more innovative, dynamic and efficient than ever before. Now with HB Finance from 0%, purchase contributions of up to €3,500 and service plans from €9.99. They're the smart next step for your business. For vans and offers you can rely on always. Contact your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie Volkswagen.ie and leave the rest to us. Finance provided by way of hire purchase agreement from Volkswagen Financial Services Ireland and subject to lending criteria. Terms and conditions apply.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus need help. Visit gamblingcare.ie.
123inc.ie have your office needs covered. So whether you're an accountant, butcher, carpenter, dentist, electrician, florist, graphic designer, hairdresser, journalist, lecturer, musician, optician, retailer, teacher, solicitor, web designer, or yoga instructor, we've got what you need. And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123inc.ie. For home, for office, for less.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 from Old Trafford. I'm your host, Tom Rennie. Alongside me is the former Fulham, Manchester United and England fullback Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Got to mention all these people getting in touch on Twitter at TalkSport Live. One I did like was from John, who said Wolves scored at Old Trafford in the 1-1 draw in 1819. In fact, what I meant to say earlier was they haven't scored and gone on to win here since 1980. So there you go. Missed off the other half of me stat. You know what I blame? I blame Microsoft Word and being unable to zoom in at 100% and also see everything I need to see. So in many ways, that was Bill Gates' fault, that mistake. Anyway, thanks for getting in touch, John. But also Benjamin, who's with us, sending us a lovely picture as well. We mentioned earlier on out in the woods. Love this picture we got sent in from Detroit Jackalope. Mark, listening from Detroit whilst walking his dogs. That's what I want to see. I asked for dog pictures and I got dog pictures. A couple of lovely dogs there out for a nice walk listening to us on one of our partner stations. So thank you very much indeed for getting in touch. Keep them coming in to at TalkSport Live. Change coming up here for Manchester United. Paul Parker, Luke Shaw is coming on. Alex Telles is being withdrawn. I didn't see an injury. I don't know if you did. If not, what does that bring us?
Well, I didn't see an injury either. I really don't know what it actually brings. I'm assuming it is an injury. It's not the kind of not the kind of play you'd bring on to change a game, to be honest, Luke Shaw. In fact, when you look at it defensively, and if Traore's got anything about him, he'll try and go 1 against 1 because Luke Shaw is not going to be able to get close enough to him. Luke Shaw will end up dropping further and further back because he'll be worried about Traore running in behind him.
I'm not sure it'll be a change of shape or anything like that, so I'm assuming there is going to be some sort of injury. Luke Shaw started 3 of the last 4 Premier League games. Has been here a long time now, Shaw, you know. He's been here, since 2014, so 7 years at Manchester United. Now, I always feel like he's a new signing, which is weird, because it doesn't feel like it's really happened for him.
No, it definitely hasn't happened. I think he was on the verge of it happening before he got that horrific injury in the Europa League. Or was it a Champions League game? It was a European game, and he hasn't really come from there. Trying to come back from there. Jose Mourinho then become the manager, and Jose Mourinho had no time for him.
Yeah, September 2015, that injury. It was a massive broken leg. He missed 11 months. Long time ago now, though, for Luke Shaw, who's running down the left wing here for Manchester United. Early attack. Challenged by Neves, foul by Neves. Team then for United. Left back now Luke Shaw, David De Gea in goal. Harry Maguire, Eric Bailly, Aaron Wan-Bissaka complete the back 4. Midfield pairing Nemanja Matic and Paul Pogba. Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 role. Edinson Cavani, the number 9 up front. Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood on the left and right for Wolves. Rui Patricio in goal. Back 3, left to right. Roman Saiss, Connor Coady, Max Kilman. In the centre of midfield, Vitinha is with Ruben Neves and João Moutinho, Kiana Hoover and Ryan Ait-Nouri, wing-backs right and left, Pedro Neto and Adama Traore up front. I'll give you the sub benches shortly. Now they're back to the action as Fernandes takes this free kick from the left. It's away by Neves. Traore and Boly battling for the ball on the far side. Traore away with a big blast into touch. Here are the benches for United: Dean Henderson, Juan Mata, Anthony Martial, Fred, Daniel James, Donny van der Beek, Axel Tuanzebe and Scott McTominay. Luke Shaw is now on for Wolverhampton Wanderers. John Ruddy, Daniel Podence, Fabio Silva, Nelson Semedo, Luke Cundle, Lewis Richards, Owen Otasoe, Theo Corbianu and Christian Marquez. John Moss, our referee, Paul Tierney, the fourth official, and Simon Hooper, the dreaded VAR. No VAR calls for him to really get involved in so far. 2 minutes gone in this second half. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 on Premier League. Black shorts and amber socks. Don't at me, it's not old gold, this is amber. They kick from left to right as we look. United the other way, right to left. Red shirts, white shorts, black socks. Here's Kiana Hoover from the right, over the halfway for Wolves. Back to Neves. Neves with an outside of the boot pass back to Conor Coady. To his left is Saiss. Saiss actually playing in the centre of the three this evening, with Kilman on the left and Conor Coady on the right. Not what we would have expected, but that seems to be the way they've shaped up at the start of the second period. Maybe just to protect Kilman over on that far side, play him in his more comfortable position. Challenge here by Aït-Nouri on Greenwood, two young players combining. Ball goes into touch for United. 49 minutes gone. You can hear Mike Phelan for Manchester United entered the technical area doing the shouting for Solskjaer. Here's Maguire on the halfway on the left. Onto Shaw. Running infield. Again, it's lacking impetus from Manchester United. Is that because there's no fans here giving them grief for this?
That might be one of the reasons. It might be a few players, but it's just the way they are. You want the centre halves to have not too many touches, just to pass it and to at least get it back, and that would cause a movement in midfield. It would shift a bit of the front as well, but it's that ponderous, like Harry Maguire gets it and he runs with it and he keeps running in space. The moment then he'll turn and pass it back at an angle 4, 5, 20 yards. You think to yourself, just make that pass anyway rather than run towards someone with it.
Well, Rashford tried to run towards Kiana Hoover on this near side. Brilliant win back by the young Wolves wing back. Rashford tracked him back, pulled him back, and has been yellow carded. 50 minutes gone, 0-0. Wolves on the right hand side with Kiana Hoover. Once of Liverpool, now of Wolves. Forward pass, intercepted, throw in to Wolverhampton Wanderers on the right, midway inside Manchester United territory. No real movement ahead of him either. Albert tweets in, what do we know of Raul Jimenez? Diego Costa is favourite of all clubs to come back to the Premier League to Wolverhampton Wanderers, but of course that can change any minute.
I think we have to say there's something already happening. I think you have to believe that they've got something already set.
I'm sure they do. It's been how long ago, Jimenez? 3 weeks?
I would say longer than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're asking questions now. I think a lot of people have lost time. Exactly what? I mean, you spoke to people when what day is it? And they mostly think it's Sunday.
You're so right. I'm still convinced today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it, and I actually won't let anyone tell me it's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Everyone just accept it. Tomorrow, though, is also Wednesday. Confusion. Every day is Wednesday, to paraphrase Morrissey. Here's Pedro Neto on the right-hand side for Wolves as they try and go over the halfway line. Again, no real pass on for them. They've lost their rhythm in this second half, Wolves. As this second period, it's like a souffle removed from the oven too early. It's not rising to the occasion at the moment. And I'm hungry.
Yeah, but you can't be that hungry if you're talking about a souffle.
Oh, I don't think a souffle's filling. Strawberry souffle. Count me in. Do you remember restaurants? Anyway, here's Cavani, outright to Wan-Bissaka, midway inside the Wolves half. Cross comes in.
Waste.
Again, it's aimless.
Yep, it was. It was a waste by Wan-Bissaka. Total waste.
Bounce through to Rui Patricio. And there was nothing really on there. Here's Adama Traore, nothing on for him, so he takes on Nemanja Matic once, then twice, beats him both times, but then his pass outright towards Hoover is overhit. Annoyed with himself there, isn't he, Adama Traore? He did all the hard work and then got the simple bit wrong.
Yep, that's why he's still learning the game at the moment. His best bit of education he's had, I think, so far in his career was joining Wolves.
That's just stuttered a bit for Adama Traore, full Spanish international these days, but without Raul Jimenez, as you can say of many Wolves players, it's just not clicking for him right now. Here's Vitinha in the number 10 role. Had to nutmeg John Moss to get it, but he managed it. And he finds now Moutinho. Left to 8 Nori. Step over and he comes back in field. Finds Vitinha again. Lovely bit of skill by Vitinha. Chips the ball away from Bruno Fernandes. Fouled by Pogba, but he's found Ruben Neves. Right to Kiana Hoover. Back to Ruben Neves. Out of his body. Doesn't cross. No one to cross to, as we've discussed in great length. Neves then tries a pass in field, blocked by Bruno Fernandes. How do they score a goal, Wolves? Here's Vitinha into Traore. Turns Pogba. Pogba snaps back at him. Good challenge. As far as Moutinho. Centre of the pitch, right to Coady. Coady with a clip in towards Vitinha. Then Moutinho battles Matic for the loose ball. Referee says foul somewhere in there. And I'm not quite sure what that's about, but it does give us a chance for a change. And feel sorry for Vitinha. I think he's done alright so far, but he'll be coming off, and Daniel Podence, the more regular starter, comes on to replace him.
Yeah, I mean, he will definitely have something. We definitely know he can score goals.
Daniel Podence scored that brilliant goal, didn't he, at Emirates Stadium recently, where he flicked it over the defender, could have gone down, didn't, then blasted home. 3 goals this season in 14 Premier League appearances. Yet another young, talented Portuguese player is the other. 10 minutes going in the second half. The ball is with Nemanja Matic, who plays it down the left-hand side to Shaw, and Shaw knocks it straight into touch with Rashford running ahead of him. It's a cold night in Manchester. I don't know if that has much of an impact on the game. It's around 0 degrees this evening. The UK is very much frosted over. Snow in the northern parts of the country, up in Scotland and in Newcastle. 0 degrees on a Tuesday or Wednesday evening, whatever it is, Paul. Could that maybe affect performance?
I wouldn't have thought so, to be perfectly honest. If you was to get this temperature and you had rain as well, that's when it gets horrible. That's when it's seriously horrible, with cold rain and it's just gone straight through your shirt. That's where you hope everything's going right for you as an individual and as a team.
Bruno Fernandes has passed the ball straight to Daniel Podence on the halfway line, battles to win it back, but he can't. And it's down the line to Traore, who's got 3 players around him. One is Nemanja Matic, and I mean, he kind of has to do it all on his own. This time Matic challenges, hits Traore, goes into touch, because there's no other support, but also he's not really looking for a pass, is he, Traore?
No, he doesn't seem to put himself in that position. It seems like, as a defender, you know exactly what he's going to do next. You know that he's going to want to run at you, so you can set yourself. You just have to make sure you put yourself in a position of strength. Otherwise, you're not going to win that battle when it comes to strength.
United coming forward down the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka to the end line. Cross comes in. Blocked by Ryan Aït-Nouri. Recovered by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Oh, he flicks it over there, both their heads nicely. Then can't recover it on the end line. The young Wolves wing-back brings the ball away. Great tweet from Jonathan. He says, United haven't scored. When's the penalty? Well, usually it's about now, but we will see. Haven't got in the Wolves box enough to even have the sniff of a penalty so far. Here's Greenwood trying to rectify that, but his crossfield pass intercepted by Podence. Forward pass to Traore, who's overrun it. Well, Shaw slides in.
I don't think he overrun it. He wasn't aware where Luke Shaw was. He's lucky he just got the ball and thought, I'm on the halfway line, the only player up here in my side. I've got 10 minutes on the ball. He just doesn't come alive. He's just one of those players, I think, as a manager, you have to stand on the edge of the box and keep shouting at him.
Looks a bit bereft at the moment, does Adama Traore. As United come forward here, high ball far too close to Rui Patricio, trying to release Rashford from Pogba. Also dropped deep, so the clip in behind was going to be tough. Nice run from Rashford, but the ball had to be perfect and wasn't that time. Not really a great deal change with the substitution so far. One for each side. Shaw on the left for United. Podence in the number 10 role for Vitinha.
I could see that one working into something. The United one, for me, must have been an injury.
Yeah. We have got our team looking into that to see if we can confirm exactly what he's gone off for. Maybe it's an issue with the fact the schedule is just so hectic at the minute. He did go down at one point, didn't he, during the first half from that strong challenge, I think from Ruben Neves, Tellez, so maybe he just couldn't shake that off. Certainly wasn't tactical, certainly hasn't brought any joy to Manchester United as we head up towards the 60th minute here. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. High ball to Traore, flicked on towards Podence. Maguire wins it back, and then he kind of puts his arm across Podence's face. For a second, Podence thought about making a meal of it, but then quickly thought better as Ruben Neves, not for the first time tonight, puts in a late tackle, this time on Cavani. Professional foul by Neves. No yellow card from the referee, and he's probably earned one by now, I would say. Shaw into Bruno Fernandes. Nimble footwork away from Moutinho, not from Neves. Fernandes then won it back briefly before the ball went into touch. At TalkSport Live, get in touch this evening. Let us know where in the world you are listening. Orian has got in touch, and looks like they're making tamales in New Mexico whilst listening to the action, wearing a Man United kit as well. Great to have you with us. Those tamales look excellent. And Dane listening to us as well, with 2 dogs supping water in the back seat. Lovely to see Dane, great tweet, enjoying the commentary out in the world, listening to us back here. United coming forward, Greenwood into trouble, Kilman intercepts his run in the penalty area. Moutinho can bring it clear. John Moss having a word with somebody in there.
Well, he wasn't having a word, he was being quite vicious about it.
Several quite aggressive words, John Moss. Podence over on the far side with a long pass back to Kilman. Is 0-0 a good result for Wolves this evening? Do you think they'll play for it?
I think they'll be happy with it. I mean, maybe not as happy as they were getting that point off of Spurs scoring so late, but they've played reasonably well. If they can go back with something back to Molineux, I'm sure they'll be really, really pleased with that.
Here's Ryan Aït-Nouri on the halfway line, helped on towards Podence, who's goal side of Wan-Bissaka, approaching the area, left-hand side. Oh, his cutback has gone straight to the Nemanja Matic, who was standing there, waiting for it, expecting it, and Podence just passed him the ball. It was a really awful, awful cross.
It's one of the worst cutbacks I've ever seen, to be perfectly honest.
And they've won it back though. Neves has really put himself about tonight. It's gone towards Traore, who pokes right to Hoover, into Podence, approaching the final third from the centre. Kiana Hoover drives in the area, turn of pace, beats Matic, forced wide, back to Adama Traore on the right hand side. He'll take on Shaw and Fernandes, and he takes them both on and beats him. His cross comes in, but it was towards João Moutinho. Smallest man on the field, couldn't jump high enough.
No, that's a real shame. Initially that starts from the fact of Maguire and Luke Shaw both stood there and allowed Traore to run at him. And then Luke Shaw again stands off because he's worried about the pace behind, and he allows him to run towards him and put him across, which is slightly overhit. But I'll tell you what, it was a good idea.
Better from Wolves getting into the opposition box as Manchester United prepare another change here. Looks like Anthony Martial is going to be entering the fray shortly, stripped off and ready to come on. I imagine it'd be Mason Greenwood.
Well, it could be Mason Greenwood or Cavani. It wouldn't surprise me if it's Cavani. I think it'd be wrong. If anything, it should be Mason Greenwood, because again, he just has not got involved in a game of football.
Yeah, it's certainly a different Greenwood we're watching now to the one we saw during Project Restart. Scored that brilliant goal, didn't he, at London Stadium against West Ham, but the goals have dried up and the contributions have dried up as well. And the other end is Wolves coming forward. Podence finds Neto, who controls and turns and finds a pass right to Traore. Corner of the area, up against Shaw, helped onto Hoover. Hoover's cross comes in. It's away by Bailly in the 6-yard box. Recovered by Traore, running away from goal. Lovely skill to get away from Fernandes into Neto, who now carries the ball out right. Rashford's with him. Has just kept it on there. Pedro Neto under some pressure. Here's Ruben Neves, back to Moutinho. Moutinho to his left, and Roman Saiss. Saiss down the line to Ryan Aït-Nouri, left-hand side. Turns away from Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka slams the door and steals the ball. Into Cavani, back to Greenwood, short to Pogba. United try to break. Chip to Bruno Fernandes in the centre circle. You'll find Luke Shaw. Shaw pokes it to Greenwood. Greenwood back to Fernandes. Fernandes spins one inside the area. Away by Kilman. No real pressure on that. And Wolves can bring it away. But Podence loses out to Boly, who steps out. Back heel to Pogba. Podence goes down. United quite rightly play on. Edge of the area. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes to Pogba. Wan-Bissaka outside. Here he is now. Cuts it back to Pogba again. Into Bruno Fernandes, right-footed dink in towards Rashford, who's won the header. Couldn't keep it down though. Marcus Rashford loops it over the top.
I'll tell you what, I would not be happy with one of my teammates going down so easy with his arm in the air, looking around, looking at people, looking at the referee, so you're going to stop it. Get up and at least limp around and be an extra body while we're trying to defend. It's a cop-out in my opinion. Situations like that.
Well, we saw it last night, didn't we, with Andreas Christensen at Chelsea. He went down on the challenge from Grealish. Grealish got straight back up again, and he stayed down, Christensen, and Chelsea didn't have enough defenders in the box, and Villa equalised.
Yep. Those cases should be used by managers and just say, stop being selfish. In other words, play the game properly.
Yeah. Change has happened for United. Anthony Martial is on. It was Mason Greenwood withdrawn. It could have been any of the forwards really, but as we discussed, it wasn't an effective performance at all from Mason Greenwood.
Be interesting what Martial does in the wide area, because he's mostly not happy because he's not going through the middle. He'll have to go in the wide area, see what he does. Is he going to look to run behind without the ball, as you would like him to do, or is he going to wait for it to come to his feet and then try and beat 2 or 3?
He started 9 of the last 13, Anthony Martial. He's the centre forward at the club now, with Cavani getting the occasional start coming on, but usually Martial does start in the number 9 role. Is he a striker, Anthony Martial?
I don't believe he's a centre forward, no. I think he's a player from a wide area. You're going to get the best from him out there, a little bit more consistent than what you do through the middle. When he does things good in the middle, you see the quick feet, great. The problem is, don't expect it the next game and the game after.
I always find it strange when players can be at a club or play in this league for a long, long time. And I mean, how many years has he been here now, Martial? And you still don't quite know what he does. He's not a bad player at all, but what would you rely on him for? And I don't quite know what it is yet.
You're throwing one in there that maybe I wouldn't use on radio.
2015 he signed.
Really?
Martial, 2015. Wolves are preparing a change here. Another young Portuguese player, would you believe? Fabio Silva's about to come on. I think it was probably going to be for Pedro Neto, but Podence is receiving treatment still, so they're just holding on that. Ryan Aït-Nouri's also got a bit of a problem too, so he is being looked at. So Wolves have got 11 on, but 2 limpers.
One of them's an armour, isn't he?
What do you want from me? That's too specific.
Right.
Maybe one limper and one, I don't know. What would you say about that?
Well, at the moment you wouldn't ask him to be in your badminton team. He's holding that shoulder, it's not comfortable.
Excellent, right, 67 minutes gone. Might be some football soon, who knows. Here's Neves, wins it back midway inside his own half. Volleyed forward to Neto, lovely chest control. Neves then looks forward, and there is nobody forward for Wolves. He swept it up towards Traore, who had no chance of keeping that forward, to be fair. It wasn't a good ball to him. Pogba for United, forward to Rashford, who's gone right. Martial now left, Cavani in the centre. Turn of pace from Rashford. Challenge by Ryan Aït-Nouri, who went to ground well.
Yeah, he's okay.
We are going to get another change here, and it is young Fabio Silva coming on, and he will replace Pedro Neto, who had some flashes in the opening few minutes, but hasn't really done a great deal since then.
No, he enjoys playing with Jimenez. Those two play together really, really well. When he does miss him, he needs a focal point to bounce off at this moment in time in his career.
Fabio Silva on. Had that late chance, didn't he, against Tottenham a couple of days ago. I think maybe they're looking to build him over a period of seasons. They weren't expecting him to have to play as much as he is right now. But he does at least bring a focal point to this team, which wasn't there until that moment.
That's right, Traore. I think now we'll move back to his favoured right side. Well, I think so, as he comes from the left-hand side. That's killed that.
United win the ball back on the halfway line. Maguire steps out, finds a pass back to Matic. Hello to Mukhtar, listening to us out in Ghana through one of our partner stations there, enjoying Banku and palm nut soup, wearing his Man United shirt. So that's a nice picture as well. I am very hungry looking at that. Here's Pogba on the right hand side, low cross towards Cavani, intercepted by Saiss, and a play for a corner to Manchester United. It's the kind of game, Paul, isn't it? If you lose it, you're quite annoyed because the opposition haven't done enough to win.
I would say that more. If Wolves were to lose that, they'll be very, very disappointed, considering what they've had to put in, maybe with the players missing as well. They've put a lot into it. Manchester United were to lose it, I think they have to look at themselves.
Shaw's delivery, Baye's header, Cavani's there, and he turns the ball home, Cavani, but I think he will be given offside. Cavani sniffing around the 6-yard box, as he always is. That's why he's such an ace goal scorer, PSG's all-time record goal scorer. A VAR check's underway here, by the way, because there's a potential handball from Coady on the way through. On the first replay, though, Paul, we can clearly see that Cavani is well offside. But what about the handball shout against Coady?
It could be. He's turned away from it. Was it? It's actually, I'm going to say no, but I don't know what they're giving now. Maybe I should actually start looking at small prints now. But
well, does he make his arm unnaturally big, and is it in an unexpected position? Those are the things.
No, he's down by his side. He's not put his arm up high or towards the ball. No, he's offside.
Yeah, offside has been given.
Yeah, correct.
The handball is not being considered, and Cavani, having had the ball in the net, it doesn't matter because he was offside.
Yeah, for football it's a great decision, something like that.
And I don't think, even if they were considering the handball, it met the criteria, even the criteria we're using now with expected position and all that stuff. Anyway, goalless, 70 minutes gone. Manchester United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tom Money and Paul Parker with you. Here's Marcal. First run he's been able to have at the Wolves defence. Pass a bit short to Rashford. Kilman slides in. Aït-Nouri brings Wolves upfield. Short to Podence. Back to Moutinho. Forward to Neves. Neves in the centre circle. Wants a pass. He finds one forward to Traore. Up against Shaw. Corner of the area. Right hand side. Left footed snapshot from Adama Traore. Always going wide. He took the snapshot on. And why not, really? Who was he going to cross to?
That's exactly right. No one to cross to. And again, we see Luke Shaw and Maguire, both of them running off. He's there, Maguire. Tell Luke Shaw to get tight. Don't allow him to get too far into the box. But he doesn't. Both of them just get there, and both of them start moving backwards towards the goal, which then allows Traore to get his shot off his weaker foot at the goal.
A shot came off the heel of Maguire on the way through, so it has gone for a corner to Wolves, which Moutinho will take on the attacking right-hand side. 72nd minute here. Big chance for Wolves. Moutinho's ball in. Away by Maguire. Beat Fabio Silva in the air. Aït-Nouri picks it up. Into Coady. Into Saiss, who wins the header. And it's a brilliant save by David De Gea. Of course, Roman Saiss wins the header. He always wins the header. David De Gea makes the stop.
Yeah, I think it's been given offside, but again, it's poor defending by United. Saiss, again, the most dangerous person, and who's marking him at this moment in time? Fernandes is next to him. Where are the centre halves? Absolutely shocking that is. If you're doing a kids game, you got your big man, you say you get up against the big man, I guarantee those two will never leave each other's side from dead ball situations.
Let off for United, and now they're coming forward. Pogba to Rashford on the right, approaching the area. Cavani had made the run, had to get back on side. It didn't come to him. Rashford and Wan-Bissaka combine. Rashford overhits it into touch. And there's just something not quite there right now with Manchester United, whether they're not getting Fernandes and Pogba in forward positions to pick the passes. Is it poor runs? Is it fatigue? I mean, they have made 6 changes from the side that played against Leicester last time out, so you can't really say fatigue is a factor here, can you?
I've got no time for fatigue, because it's something that managers and the press and even fans now put into people's heads.
You're tired of it, some would say.
Yes, totally. I don't want to admit to that, but yes, I am certainly that way. Fed up, we keep hearing it. They're playing football, for God's sake.
Yes.
It's what they're supposed to love.
Oh no, give me more training. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
Bring me the games.
It's just absolutely incredible.
Rui Patricio has been yellow carded for time wasting here as he looks to take this goal kick. John Moss not happy with how long it's taken on multiple occasions to get the game going again. One on the halfway line by Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes forward, Moutinho away. Fabio Silva chasing down Maguire. Maguire will get there first and sweep up outright to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Here's Paul Pogba. Centre of the field, left to short, a bit narrow from the left. Good ball in towards Rashford. Saiss read it. Hoover clears away before Fernandes can pick it up on this near side.
And that was a bit naughty by the Wolves sub, what he done there.
Yeah, Zoe Notasoe on the sideline, the US international, who picks it up before Fernandes throws the ball away. They do get another ball quite swiftly, so that is ended. That little bit of drama. Throw-ins taken. Wolves have cleared it as they try to get in the area, Manchester United.
I just think if United are going to really change this up, it has to be a midfield substitution next to add that little bit in there. Somebody's going to engineer something different. Bruno Fernandes has maybe had one of his, I'm not going to say poor game, I'm going to say one of his lesser creative games.
Yeah, you can say it's been rubbish, Paul. They all have.
No, I would never say that, because I think he's that important, and if he hasn't been that good, it's because how good Wolves have been in that midfield.
Great bands can release poor songs. Oasis released Little James. It happens. A shot from Pogba here from distance, saved to his left by Rui Patricio. Good effort though from Pogba. Why not have an effort from that sort of range?
Well, you're looking for that little bit extra from someone who's supposed to be that special, and that was it really. That was a decent strike, something out of nothing. Good first touch, bit of strength needed, and a good shot, a great strike.
Better from Paul Pogba. Get involved in the final third. That's what United fans want to see. That's what the neutrals want to see. What have Wolves got in response? Here's Moutinho over the halfway right-hand side into Fabio Silva, who tried to release Traore. The idea was right. The pass was wrong from the teenage forward. Hello to JT with us in Worcester, Pennsylvania, Worcester. So that's a lovely picture of his dog out on a late afternoon hike. Beautiful dog as well. Looks like about 9 breeds in one. I love it. No idea about dog breeds really, but I love them all, and that's a beautiful picture. Thanks for sending it in. Back here, Anthony Martial's coming forward from the left. Shot is blocked, breaks to Pogba, but the offside flag has got up somewhere in there. It may have been Martial when he initially received the ball. Of course, you've got to let things play through these days, which can be frustrating, and of course you can then get called out on the VAR later. I watched the West Ham game earlier. Danny Ings had the ball in the net. Everyone sort of half played on because they knew he was so far offside. He scores, and then you're like, oh, hold on a minute, was he offside? And it wasn't that far in the end. But of course everyone thinks he's offside, so you sort of, you stop. I don't know. I know it's played to the whistle, but I'm not sure everyone has quite got the hang of it yet. Wolves certainly haven't got the hang of playing without Raul Jimenez, still injured with the fractured skull. High ball forward towards Traore, somewhat aimless. Picked up by Matic, who's done really, really well to find Martial. Short pass into Pogba in the centre circle, who can get those big gangly legs, bringing United upfield. Onto Wan-Bissaka, right to Rashford. Dummies to run forward, then finds a nice pass into Bruno Fernandes, then Pogba, then Martial. That's lovely play by Manchester United until the shot by Martial, unmarked, free on the edge. First time, it's over the top.
Yeah, and that's the difference. What you find maybe with a lot of top players in that area there, that falls for Fernandes. There's every chance that position he would shape for that'd be hitting the goalkeeper's top of the left goalkeeper's corner. That would do, to be honest. He should have done better with that really, even had time to have a touch to get it out of his feet, even more so.
Wolves forward from Ruben Neves up towards Adama Traore on the halfway. Into Pogba, short to Rashford. Fabio Silva for company. It goes back to Wan-Bissaka. And towards the man Matic, who finds a nice pass into Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United just starting to move it around a bit now. Cavani in the area, forced out, back to Shaw on the left. Bruno Fernandes. Matic forward, over on the left-hand side, leaves it short for Bruno Fernandes again. Can't get around those amber shirts of the Wolves players. Here's Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side. Fabio Silva for company blocking the cross. Goes back to Eric Bailly. Right-footed chip crossfield is poor. Intercepted by Hoover. Here's Neves onto Fabio Silva, who's up against the perennially injured Eric Bailly. Doesn't take him on though. It goes back to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Wolves happy to hold it up. Wolves happy to keep possession. Wolves happy for a point. As things stand, they're getting one.
Yeah, well, United were doing really well with that possession. They was having it was as progressive as it's ever been for them, and then Bailly decides to miss out 4 players and go long when it was totally not needed.
Here's Maguire, lip of the centre circle. Diagonal pass over the top into Rashford. Lovely first touch, has a shot. Blocked by Saiss, then Kilman with the challenge. And then the offside flag comes up.
That's the problem with it, Tom. That is the problem. Someone could have got injured seriously there trying to do something for the cause, and it was totally unnecessary.
Not even close, is it, as well? We're seeing the replay now. He's a couple yards off.
Yes, totally.
And the lino knew he was off.
Yeah, it's wrong. The whole thing is wrong what they're trying to do, really. Man is trying to change his game because of a machine. Why are we trying to do that with football? It needs tweaking, but it doesn't need tweaking that much. It could cause serious injuries.
But if you're absolutely sure, then put your flag up. If you're not sure, leave it down. That makes sense to me. If you think this might be close, leave it. But if you're 2 yards off, don't make players sprint back and, all of that. Right. Hello to Omo, listening to us out in Nigeria. Says he's been on his sick bed for the last month, but is enjoying all the games, and we're providing some entertainment. We're pleased about that, and we hope you get better soon. Thanks for the tweet at TalkSport Live. We hope this game gets better soon. There's not that much to go. Pogba's been robbed here by Neves, but Bailly comes and helps out as Fabio Silva looked to nick it. Bailly says he was caught late there. Referee has given the free kick, I think.
Really? Well, to be honest, really, it's fair that Bailly, first time he's been down, he doesn't play a game with actually going down.
They work it left to Shaw, who's clipped it up to nowhere. Saiss wins it back for Wolverhampton Wanderers. As things stand in the Premier League, Manchester United would be in 4th this evening, 28 points, climbing from 27. A couple of points away from Leicester in 2nd going into tonight. Should they win, they would go 2nd. At the moment, they are being held to a draw. Wolves looking to get into the top half. They've fallen behind Leeds tonight following their 5-0 thwacking of West Bromwich Albion. Here's Moutinho, lovely ball over the top to Ryan Aït-Nouri, goal side of Wan-Bissaka in the area. Fires it in, but there's no one sniffing around. De Gea hands it away, and there's 3 United players and none from Wolves. Someone's got to go in and be the striker. Fabio Silva nowhere near it.
Tell you what, David De Gea has made some really important saves, Tom, some really difficult ones as well, ones that people, if they had gone in, people want to question him straight away. Don't think many will talk about how well he's played and the fact of he's kept United in this game. He's had to work harder than Patricio.
Wolves have won a free kick on the far side here, over on the left sideline, 40 yards from goal. Moutinho takes it short to Ruben Neves from distance. He normally loves a pop. Right to Hoover instead, who crosses from right to left, and it's over everybody's head. Recovered by Aït-Nouri on the far side by the corner flag. Back to Moutinho, out of his body, cross comes in, deep cross, straight to David De Gea. Out to Bruno Fernandes, challenged well by Podence. Fernandes stays down. United keep on breaking with Cavani on the left hand side. It's into Pogba in space, long pass to feet. David De Gea's down here, away to our right. Not sure what's happened to him as this cross comes in here. It's away by Roman Saiss.
Why hasn't the referee stopped the game? The goalkeeper's down. It needed, absolutely ridiculous. It needed the players to tell him. He's got an assistant referee, he's got assistant referees, he's got a fourth official, he's even got people in the broom cupboard at Stockley Park. And he's down.
Well, he's not obliged to stop it if De Gea goes down. He threw it out.
I think he is with the goalkeeper.
I don't know what happened. Did you see anything?
I saw Traore come up behind him. Oh, they just ran. Well, he ran into him. They ran into each other. Totally accidental. As he caught him with one of those big biceps somewhere, I don't know. But he shouldn't be standing there that long if he wants to get up now.
Well, it might have winded him accidentally. Maybe, I mean, you're running into Adama Traore. It's like running into a brick wall. So maybe he's hurt himself a bit there. But, you know, Man United carry on playing, and it's at the other end. I don't know. He probably should have stopped it, but...
yeah.
He hasn't.
Yeah, but John Moss didn't want to because, judging by his the way he's built, he didn't really want to make that run back, did he?
Yes, Adama Traore like a brick wall. John Moss like a wall that's not quite set yet.
Yeah,
it's nice. That'll do. But hey, it has been the festive season, and I invited 12 to my house and nobody could come, so I've eaten for 12. So it's happened to all of us. We do get back underway here. John Moss drop ball to Rui Patricio, who picks it up, and we do get back on with it. Fernandes and Podence okay from their collision as well. Gijo listening to us out in Chile, loving the dry humour from me and Paul this evening. Not so much the game that sounds a bit too dry too. You're not far wrong, but there is still time, my friend. Thanks for your tweet this evening. First time listener, keep them coming in. Here's Bruno Fernandes, who's up and about for Manchester United. Crossfield pass, left to right. On to Wan-Bissaka, into Rashford in the area. Right to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. 4 in the box to aim for if he does cross it. Can't find the space to cross. Leaves it for Rashford. Running away from goal, but they've still got it here, the United pair. Back on the floor, diagonal to Eric Bailly. Over the top towards Rashford. It's away by Aït-Nouri. Recovered by Moutinho. Into Fabio Silva. Robbed by Bruno Fernandes, who in turn is re-robbed by Moutinho. Pogba controls. Challenged by Moutinho. He's getting stuck in tonight. Would have been a foul. Not given. Lovely pass by Shaw to Bruno Fernandes. Shot blocked by Coady on its way through. Shouts of handball from the United players. Now, Bruno Fernandes has gone down claiming a stray elbow. It's been given by the referee. I'm not too sure about that.
No, there wasn't anything. He was actually falling over, and he's earned a foul out of it more than anything. That's all he's got out of it.
Well, we're seeing a replay here of the shot from Bruno Fernandes. Shouts of handball from Fernandes. Hits him on the back, and then he goes down. He holds his left ear when he actually got a slight clip on his right ear. Yeah. Bruno Fernandes. It's never a foul.
Do you know what? I'm not blaming the players anymore. Sometimes I give them I blame the people who actually really are the fall guys, which are the referees, because they need a lesson in how, when they go out, not to be fooled by people. They're absolutely being fooled by people.
Free kick Manchester United. Fernandes won it. Fernandes takes it. Ruben Neves away for Wolves. 86 minutes gone. Man United 0, Wolves 0. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Deep cross to Maguire. Wins the first header. Saiss wins the second. Recovered by Shaw. Left to Marcal. Return back to Nemanja Matic. Short to Marcal. Back to Matic left hand side. Approaching the final third from the wide. Into Pogba. Back to Matic. On to Shaw. Opens his body up, left-footed cross, over Cavani, away by Saiss. Podence brings the ball down and finds Aït-Nouri, and he can bring Wolves away. Down the line to Fabio Silva, the teenager. Oh, and his pass back to Aït-Nouri was so poor. And you could hear on our effects mics what Aït-Nouri thought of it. He did manage to retake possession. Forward pass from him again, challenge Wan-Bissaka. And that's a shame there for Wolves, because they got into a good position there, but just didn't really have a look like attacking with any real impetus there.
I mean, he'll mostly do his post-match, the manager, and he'll be asked questions about it, but we all know the answer. What the answer is, they need a focal point up front.
Yeah. There's not a great deal that you can actually say is their Wolves. They do all right, but how do they score? Lost Jota in the summer. Jimenez to injury. Defending here as Shaw gets forward for Manchester United. In towards Marcal on the edge. Sliding challenge. Ruben Neves wins it back for Wolves. Into Moutinho, back to Neves. Right-footed clip upfield. Bai gets there before Fabio. Silva just gets there before Traore too. Shaw's giving it away to Ruben Neves, who puts another good challenge in, but it breaks to Pogba. Into Rashford, clipped outside to Shaw. Good challenge by Kiana Hoover. Really are getting stuck in tonight. Wolves, a hard shift from them, even though United have not been at their best. Wolves have really wanted to fight tonight to get a point.
I think the two wide young lads have done really well, Tom. Nori is going to be someone I think we're going to be talking about a little bit more. I don't know if he's an actual left back or he's a wing back. Was he a winger? But I'll tell you what, he's not bad defensively and he's very, very good going forward.
Yeah, I think he looked better than Marcal and Semedo, these two, from what I've seen in recent weeks from Wolves. Here he is again, Nori on the far side. Gets there before Cavani after a slightly loose first touch. Good pass into Moutinho.
Doesn't lack confidence, the boy, I'll tell you that.
Saiss with a chip out right to Hoover, who's just kept it in. Upfield trying to find Traore, goal side of Harry Maguire, but Maguire will get there. Knocks it back towards David De Gea. Final throes of this fairly drab and dry Premier League game between Manchester United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Is there to be a late sting in this tale? Pogba back to Maguire on the halfway line, left hand side, onto Shaw, bit of space to exploit. Is there someone to cross to? Still edging his way forward, down the line to Marcal, into Pogba, back to Marcal, back to Pogba. Lovely footwork, Paul Pogba, but he can't get away from Hoover, and he's then put in a really poor challenge. Could have been a breakaway for Wolves, but I think maybe the way they're playing here, they're not too dissatisfied with a free kick. Another game where Wolves have played one of the traditional top six, and having got a draw against Tottenham, on their way to another draw here, having beaten Chelsea in recent times as well. Lovely flick on there by Traore, trying to release Podence. Shaw wins it back. Traore then slams into Matic on the sideline. John Moss wants to play on. He does. Pogba forward. Coady misses the header, breaks to Marcal, left of the area. Into Rashford. Neat footwork. Challenged by Neves. Kilman away. End line right hand side. Goes for a throw. 90 minutes now up. Manchester United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 on Premier League Live. There'll be 5 additional minutes added on at the end of the 90. And we're into that now as Podence wins the ball back for Wolves, into Traore. Foul by Maguire, would press high. And that's a free kick to Wolves. Maguire then runs away with the ball like a child who was running home with the football.
Yeah, but then that was one of those plastic ones. A lot more money these ones nowadays.
He's kicked me. I'm going home. Game's over. Well, still 5 minutes to play here, and there's 3 Premier League points in the offing too for these two teams. If they can muster up something here, win for Manchester United will put them to 30, 2 off top after 15 games, which is a pretty decent start by anyone's standards. Wolves would remain a long way off that challenge, but would climb up to 10th, the top half. West Ham just getting a draw earlier against Southampton, who currently sit 10th. Here's Pogba on the far side for Manchester United. Into Marcal, turns Saiss. Challenged by Moutinho, still going Marcal from Saiss. A little bit risky there, but he got a good foot on the ball, and Wolves will clear it away. Bai on the halfway. Down the line to Wan-Bissaka. Short to Pogba, round the corner, trying to release Rashford. Kilman wants to shield it out. It's good work by Kilman. Rashford did put the pressure on. Was hoping he'd try to clear it. Kilman sold him a dummy. He's done well.
Sorry, he's read that one. He went with it on the wrong foot as well, Tom. He's gone with his left foot across his body. It would have been a lot easier and safer with his right foot just to get the touch. But he went with a difficult one and he got away with it. But the way he's played, I don't really want to say he got away with it. He's had a really good game in both boxes.
Yeah, but a real top performer, Roman Saiss, for Wolves for a long time now. perhaps a little bit underrated, perhaps doesn't have the profile in the UK at least of Conor Coady and Willy Boly in that back line. Maybe doesn't have the profile of Raul Jimenez, Diogo Jota when he was here, Rui Patricio, but really has been fantastic for a long time now in various positions for Wolves. And he's keeping a clean sheet for his team here. Here he is on the ball. To his right is Conor Coady, helped on towards Hoover. Down the line to nowhere in particular. One back by Maguire for Manchester United. 92.5 minutes gone. Fernandes over the top here. Rashford goal side of Kilman, but he's been forced wide. Rashford picks it up. Cavani wants it. Rashford shifts, holds it up, does now shoot, deflected. Oh, they've nicked it. They have nicked it, Manchester United. Well, that is what champions do, right? That is what Manchester United used to do over and over again in the halcyon days of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a striker. And with the 3 points they're about to nick off Wolverhampton Wanderers, Manchester United are on their way to second in the Premier League table. 93rd minute, 1-0 they lead.
Well, that's come about from the middle of the park, to be perfectly honest. The job should have been done better there. And that ball, well, just catches out. I think it's Conor Coady it catches out. Sorry, Kilman, it catches them out. The movement in the ball. And then he gets in line, gets enough bodies in line. And I think it hits Saiss in the end. But I thought it deviates the ball. I thought there was a slight deflection.
Yeah, we're just seeing the replay there. It's a big deflection off Roman Saiss. The ball's going to Patricio's right.
Yeah.
And squeezes in on the left-hand side, right by the post. It's not a good effort, truth be told, from Marcus Rashford. Patricio had it covered. What a shame for Roman Saiss, who's been so good this evening. But it's off his hand, I think. Oof. And into the back of the net.
Yeah.
And I don't think, we're seeing the replay here of Solskjaer's celebration. I think he cannot believe his team have won this game.
Yeah,
They've been so poor.
They have been poor. The game was all about the 0-0. Both sides, as far as I'm concerned, should have been happy with that. But Manchester United walk away with the win, and we see what happens after that.
Change here for Manchester United. Scott McTominay comes on to see this one out. Don't worry too much. Bruno Fernandes has gone off to replace him, or to be replaced by him. And now Wolves, they've got seconds to do what they couldn't do in 96 minutes. That's score a goal. Cross to Fabio Silva, edge of the area. Challenged by Boly, away by Pogba. Rashford picks it up. Shouts of handball. Was handball. Wasn't given by John Moss, and Rashford takes him away down the right. Pogba runs further on. United look to keep it in the corner. Pogba wants a free kick, gets it off Kilman. And they're all saying to John Moss, why wasn't that handball given moments ago?
Didn't suit John Moss at that given time. There must have been a distance to go if he had to change that decision. That's me being critical again.
Yes, come on. Nice guy, John Moss. What are you up to, buddy? Come on. I love this from Uko on Twitter, who says, that's champions from Man United. That's why they're going to win the league this year. I love that. Cal Ali says Rashford, MBE, MVP for MUFC. Can't argue with that either. Should be a commentator. That's pretty good, that. Well, they are going second, Paul. I don't think there's much doubt about that now. Can they win the league? 2 points off Liverpool? Why not?
Might as well. These different times are in now, because under the normal times they were like 5-6 years away. But at this moment in time, any of the top six can win the league.
Pogba keeps it in the corner here. Runs it straight into touch. I think Wolves could be playing for another 4 or 5 days and not score a goal here. Striker must come in on January 1st for them.
Yeah, but it's just going to ruin the momentum they've had over these last few seasons.
There you go. Manchester United going second in the Premier League table, having stolen a victory here against Wolverhampton Wanderers after a really, really poor game and a pretty woeful performance all round. Rashford's deflected shot has won it. Listen, stay with us for another half an hour. We'll analyse this game when we come back, and we'll get match reports from around the country from the various Premier League games that have happened today. Former champions here from Manchester United. They haven't played well, but they've won, and they're second. Man United 1, Wolves 0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Go!
With TalkSport.
Certainty. With Volkswagen commercial vehicles, it's included as standard. Quality, performance, reliability. And now with purchase contributions of up to €3,500 and service plans from $999. For vans and offers you can rely on, always. Contact your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie. T's and C's apply.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Go!
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the all-new Ford Kuga from €425 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost to standard rate. Price quoted for a Kuga Titanium with no maintenance over 4 years with 3 monthly rentals in advance. 20,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Marion Fleet Management, trading as Ford Lease.
123ink.ie for all your home office needs, including printers, ink, toners, paper, label markers, binders,
pens, bins, batteries, boxes, chalk, compass, files, memory sticks, highlighters, glue, notepads,
Whoa! And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123ink.ie for home, for office, for less.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
The Premier League Live.
Oh, what a goal!
With TalkSport.
You're listening to Premier League Live, and our game has just finished between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Manchester United. Paul Parker, you'll need to give us some analysis on that game, because it was not great really, was it? And yet United have won it. How have they done it?
A little bit of good fortune, a bit of hard work by Marcus Rashford, who tried to puff at the door. He wasn't blowing it down, and it took a big deflection for him to get a goal and for Manchester United to win the game, and that's what it was in the end. Let's talk about the good bits for Manchester United. Okay, I'll shorten it. They got 3 points.
But that's what it's all about, right? I mean, you don't remember the game on the 29th of December against Wolves where it wasn't great when you are Premier League champions, right? This isn't the moment you're like, wow, well, what a shame we didn't beat them there, or play well when we beat them there, I should say. You know, if they are to challenge, and look, they are challenging right now, they are challenging for the Premier League title, Man United, as we speak. You might out there think they might not realistically do it, if you want, but 2 points off the top, another victory for them, 9 wins all season, just the 3 defeats, turning things around at Old Trafford, always winning away from home. There's a lot of good stuff there at the moment, and the performances will surely come, no?
Yeah, I think you like to believe they will. The ones at home definitely need to come, because you can't be doing that, producing very, very poor performances in the attacking third as a team. The midfield just wasn't creative enough. They're too reliant on one person. They needed a little bit more from others in that midfield. But like you say, they got 3 points. People will say they don't care where they come from. I know Manchester United is built on the back of performances, and then every time you get to the big games, you're prepared because of the performance previous, and you go into that game on the back of winning previous games but having good performances under the belt, and Manchester United haven't been doing that. They've got something out of nothing today. They've dug deep, and they've got it against a Wolves side who generally don't score at Old Trafford anyway, as I've been told by yourself. And
just once, some would say.
Yeah, and they've just got through it. The next game is maybe just as big now against a side that's very good away from home.
Let's remind you how the 90 minutes unfolded. It has finished with Manchester United beating Wolverhampton Wanderers. Greenwood, left-footed cross, beautiful ball in, surely 1-0. What a save by Patricio. It was Fernandes with the effort. Cavani then tries to turn the rebound home, but over his shoulder he turns it wide.
It was a great volley by Fernandes. Patricio only knew about it. The moment it bounces down, he gets his body in front of it. That's all he can do at that given moment. That could have been 1-0 United, maybe a little bit against the run of play, but that's the first time they've shown any endeavour to put the ball into a dangerous area in the box.
Moutinho whipped in low, flicked on by Saiss, and it's a great reaction save by David De Gea. Rashford picks it up, Cavani wants it, Rashford shifts, holds it up, does now shoot, deflected. Oh, they've nicked it. They have nicked it, Manchester United. Well, that is what champions do, right? That is what Manchester United used to do over and over again in the halcyon days of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a striker. And with the 3 points, they're about to nick off Wolverhampton Wanderers. Manchester United are on their way to second. And that's it, second in the Premier League table, Manchester United at TalkSport Live. Can they win the league? Let us know your thoughts. Noel says to us, this time of year it's all about points, not how well you play. Frustrating for United, but 3 points is 3 points. By the way, he says, can I get that turkey recipe? You absolutely can. I like to soak it in brine for 48 hours. Once you've done that, cook it upside down with your lemons, your onions, that sort of thing. And then when you have cooked it and sliced it, store it in stock or gravy before serving to keep it moist. There you go. Paul Parker, we've done a bit on Man United, and congratulations to them for the victory. Scoring in Fergie time, as I'm reminded by one of our listeners. Yep, absolutely right. What about Wolves? I mean, defensively strong. Coady, Saiss, Kilman, everyone had good games. The fullbacks, Nori and Hoover played well. All of that. Without a striker, they're going nowhere fast.
You're looking for me to talk about Wolves after you just said about a turkey.
You don't agree with the way I cooked that?
Well, we talk about it off air, I think.
No,
really,
the people want to know. No one wants to know.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
You don't soak in brine?
No, I wouldn't want to really know anything like that. But anyway, I'm going to talk about football and about Wolves as best I can. And I thought Wolves deserved a lot more what they got out of it. Should have been going back with a point. I think they defended well. It wasn't back to the wall defending. It was good, honest, clever defending. Didn't allow many shots at goal. The keeper didn't have anything really to do. Someone will come back and say, oh yeah, but one went past him, he had to go in the back of his net. I'm talking about prior to that, and they defended not just as a defensive unit, the midfield defended well as well, and that is judged by the fact how good was Bruno Fernandes today. He got a 6 out of 10 today. Even though he was trying to get involved, he didn't hide. He only got 6 out of 10, which is a rarity. And it wasn't about how many mistakes he made or bad passes. He wasn't allowed to get on the ball just by the way they moved around in midfield. The weak spot, which at the moment, if they don't rectify it, which could put them in the mire, is not having that front player, that person you can look up front and you go, I think we can get something out of this because I've got trust in him to make something out of nothing. Jimenez was that man out of nothing, and then they built from that, and they went from just sitting on the periphery to scoring 1 to scoring 2 and 3 because other players bounced off of him. They need that focal point again. They need that experience across the front line to help the other good, very good young players they've got. They talk about young players at other clubs, bigger clubs. These Wolves players, I'll tell you what, these other clubs have got a long, long way to go to beat some of these young players that Wolves have got.
But they're a bit like an under-brined turkey, aren't they, at the minute? Under-buttered turkey. The preparation hasn't been done in advance. Get a backup striker in. Jota left for big money. They bought this Fabio Silva. Look, I like the kid, but he's 18. You can't have an 18-year-old playing week in, week out in the Premier League, especially one who doesn't look like a prolific Erling Haaland.
So Wayne Rooney was hiding his passport then. He wasn't really 18, he was 25.
No, I think there are certain players that look like phenomenons. Rooney, Haaland, those types. I think Fabio Silva looks good. I wouldn't put him in that category. You know, I don't think that's an offensive thing to say. There aren't many players that come along like that, but to be a teenager starting in the Premier League up front, you've got to be phenomenal, and what they've got is potential and good. And right now, that's costing Wolves. Look, 1-0. United have won it. Congratulations to them. Second in the table. Loads of games tonight, though, to reflect upon. There were 4 others before we kicked off at Old Trafford. Here's the bet of the action from around the country.
West Brom are able to play the ball back to their own goalkeeper. Oh no, Sam Johnston is wrong-footed and it's gone straight in. Oh, what a horrible own goal that is. Leeds United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. Cleared away only as far as Alioski. What a strike from Erhan Alioski, and Leeds United have 2. 1-2 with Bamford. Harrison into the penalty area. Lovely finish into the top corner. Here come Leeds forward and another goal. It's deflected in, and Rodrigo will celebrate. Raphinha! What a goal by Raphinha! That is exquisite from Leeds United. They went from back to front in a flash, and then Raphinha hammers it past Sam Johnston.
Brady takes towards the far post. Heads go up. This time it is a goal, and it is Ben Mee up from the back, who has opened the scoring from Burnley. Here come Arsenal to Lacazette. First touch of the game from the Frenchman. First touch, first goal. And Lacazette's fine form continues. It's 2-2. He had to wait till September till now to score in the Premier League, and they can't stop coming. Brighton 0, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, so those results in full tonight. Brighton 0, Arsenal 1, Burnley 1, Sheffield United 0, Southampton 0, West Ham 0. But the result we've not mentioned there, West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 5. It was watched for us by Joe Rawson, who's filed this report.
It was a night to remember for Leeds United, who finished 2020 by hitting 5 past struggling West Brom. They were handed a late Christmas present as Romain Sawyer's calamitous own goal set the tone on a miserable night for Sam Allardyce's side. Erhan Alioski doubled the advantage, while Jack Harrison played a 1-2 with Patrick Bamford before finishing well for the third. Rodrigo added a 4th as his deflected shot wrong-footed Sam Johnston, and Raphinha completed the scoring and had a superbly crafted break with a super strike into the top corner. A penny for Big Sam's thoughts. His team remain deep in trouble, 5 points adrift in the relegation zone, while Leeds continue to entertain and are looking up to the top half. West Brom 0, Leeds United 5.
Joe Rawson there, he said a penny for Allardyce's thoughts. We've got them here, and there's no additional purchase necessary. Here he is speaking with Ian Danter, pitchside.
Sam, I don't know, 3 games in, how much that performance and result has surprised you, or how much of an indicator that is where these players are at this moment in time?
Well, it shows that inconsistency is an understatement after what I've seen tonight. So you find that at this level, consistency is the biggest part of winning football matches. Playing to your strengths, not letting your weaknesses get exposed is week in and week out an absolute necessity, particularly when you're in this position. And that has failed us tonight, where we thought we were getting somewhere with what happened in Liverpool. And we have to bear in mind that, you know, we are a struggling side at the wrong end of the Premier League. So the players that we're playing against, a lot of them are better than we are, and we have to compete against that. And the only way you can compete against that is by being able to play as a team and play as a team together and maximise our strengths and nullify their weaknesses. And that can be done if everybody pulls the weight. And everybody pulled the weight at Liverpool, but have not pulled the weight tonight.
Chins can go on chests very quickly in games. To go behind to such a freak own goal doesn't help those chins and chests, do they?
None at all, no. I mean, absolutely bizarre. Own goal. I mean, you know, Rom should have had a little look. If he was going to pass it back to the keeper, fine, but you don't do it without looking. and you don't hit it that hard either. So it's something that the last thing we wanted today, last thing we wanted this evening is to put ourselves in that position, but we did, and our response wasn't really that good either. So, but then again, I have to give credit to Leeds, because they're super side and super fit, which shows how far we're behind, not just in our football terms and technical terms, but also our fitness terms.
In a weird kind of way, though, did you kind of need to see that tonight to know what these
I didn't need to see that, no. Not at all. That's the last thing I wanted to see, because that for me is embarrassing. It embarrasses me and my staff, and it embarrasses the players, and I think that I think that for me, I have to get amongst the players and say I never want to see that again. I don't want to see anything like a performance like that from Neto. I can accept a defeat, but I can't accept a defeat the way we got defeated today.
And with January just around the corner, that would presumably remind the players of what could happen if they continue to put in those sorts of performances.
Well, players need help, and I think that the players in the squad need help. I think I'm trying to give them as much help as I can. In the past, working in the January market has been very important at all the clubs I've been at that I've rescued. So we think we'd try in the January window, because it picks everybody else up. So it's not a fear that new players come in. They should help you welcome them in, because they're going to help them get better.
Are there any positives you can take at all from tonight, Sam?
No, because we couldn't even score when there was no goalie in.
Yeah, not a great night for West Bromwich Albion at all. Just 8 points in the Premier League so far this season. They've only had fewer after 16 games in a top-flight campaign in 1985. As for Leeds, 7 wins in 16. Fantastic for a newly promoted side. We tried to pick the best of the goals from this one. Maybe Rafinha, maybe Rodrigo. For me, it was Jack Harrison, who scored a fantastic third in the first half. And post-match, Ian Danter, working overtime, caught up with the Leeds goal scorer.
Jack, many congratulations. That's the second time in 3 games that Leeds have scored 5, but to keep a clean sheet as well. We'll talk about the goals in a minute, but the clean sheet is an added bonus for you tonight, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. We said that before the game, that we really wanted a clean sheet, but we also wanted to dominate the game as well, especially after playing a tough one against Burnley and not having as much control as the game as we normally do. So I think we came out tonight with a strong presence, and we dominated the game, and we defended really well, and that's why we had the clean sheet.
You're all vying amongst yourselves to score the best goal of the night. There were 2 own goals in there, but you and Jonny and Rafinha, who's claiming it? Who's got the best goal of the night?
I think it's got to be between Jonny and Rafa, but I think Jonny will probably say himself.
Oh, he's that kind of lad, is he? But with your goal, there was the calmness that you showed in the area just to make that space for yourself. That must have been very pleasing for you.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously really, really happy to have gotten a goal tonight, but I always say with Patrick, I love to link up with him, whether it's a cross in the box or 1-2s like that, and the 1-2 came off tonight, and I was able to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I guess Patrick's the one sat in the dressing room looking a bit grumpy because he's not got on the score sheet tonight.
No, I think he'll be happy with the result, but I was really hoping he could get one tonight. He had a few chances, but he's been doing really well all season, and he can just take that going forward.
You've been part of this journey with Leeds United now on loan for this is the 3rd season now with the club. I mean, it's a joy to watch from our perspective. What's it like to be in the midst of?
It's obviously really intense games. It's great for us to be playing that kind of football. We like to play the right way, and it's good for us to play, and I'm sure it's good for as spectators to watch as well. So we love to play that kind of football, aggressive, intense, and try and play the right way.
How much do you feel Leeds United can achieve? I mean, what's the glass ceiling for a club like Leeds United?
I think all the lads are so disciplined and so motivated to keep on breaking these limits that people have set for us, and we can only keep going from here. We've managed to build quite a strong platform, strong foundation so far in the league, and we just have to keep taking it game by game and using that mindset going forward.
The reason I ask that is because some teams, when they lose as you did at Manchester United, as heavily as you did, and that can really weigh on the minds of players in the subsequent fixtures, and it takes you a while to get that out of your system. My word, how quickly you've got that defeat out of your system.
I think as footballers it's part of the
expect that halfway through the season.
When you say a title challenge, what does a title challenge actually mean?
I think getting down to maybe the last month and you've still got a chance of winning it.
I think March. I think if you're in there touching it within March, then I think that's a title challenge.
Yeah,
to be second now, I mean, look, I still think Liverpool win it, and if they perform the way that they can and have done at home and continue, then I think they'll go on and win it quite comfortably. But, and it is if United go to Anfield and win, that changes things.
08717 223344. Not just United, but there were 5 games in the Premier League to talk about. One number to dial as always. Pick up the phone, get involved. We'll take your details and we'll call you back. So when you come on National Radio, it's a free call. 08717 223344. And I want to hear from Liverpool fans as well. Are you nervous now? Honestly, hand on heart, are you nervous that United are breathing down your necks? 08717 223344. It's me, Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy on the Sports Bar on TalkSport.
10, 9, 8.
Come on, pick up the pace a bit.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And let's bring on New Year's Day right now. Because there's an incredible 10 UK millionaires guaranteed with Euro Millions on Friday the 1st of January. And that, my friends, really is dream come true money. Get the new year off to a dream start with Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on app, online and in store. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 16 or over.
Whether it's getting back into work, thinking about a different job, or helping you improve your CV, we can help you make a new start. Visit gov.uk/jobhelp. A good place to start.
Hi! I'm just dropping off a few presents for the kids.
A few? It's doorbell season, so get ready for all the festive deliveries coming your way with a Ring Video Doorbell.
Delivery. Got a big one today.
Oh, great. Can you leave it round the back, please?
Ring lets you see, hear and speak to whoever's at your door from anywhere, right from your phone.
Hey, we just bought you a few things.
Be there for every moment with a Ring Video Doorbell. For great festive savings on selected devices, go to ring.com and major retailers today.
So I called me mate Tom and I said, I'm waiting for me Chinese to be delivered. What are you up to? And he said,
I'm waiting for me car to be delivered from Cinch.
I said, oh, Cinch. And he said,
yeah, Cinch. Like you said, Cinch lets you buy a quality check used car online with a 14-day money-back guarantee.
And I said, delivery included right to your
door, yeah.
Oh, speak of the devil, that's my lemon pepper chicken. And he said,
nah, that's my tasty motor.
You're in the driving seat now, Britain. Cinch. Cars without the faff. UK mainland delivery only, T's and C's apply.
There once was a woman who craved Kentucky Fried Chicken. She wanted it so much, but her sofa was so comfy and her house was so cosy. Luckily, she'd just heard on the radio that KFC deliver, so she ordered chicken to that very sofa. The end. Participating restaurants only.
Here's a great welcome to BritBox. Get 50% off your first 3 months. From drama to documentaries, film to fantastic comedies. Plus, stream exclusive series like BritBox Originals Spitting Image.
Ooh, yes!
So, join BritBox today and save 50% for 3 months. Search BritBox Sale.
Offer ends 10th of January. T's and C's apply.
You may be in contact with more people over the holidays, so it's critical we watch out for COVID-19 symptoms. Here's Dr. Karim.
Remember the signs of COVID-19, a high temperature or a sudden loss or change in your sense of smell or taste or a new continuous cough. If you have any of these, even if you are feeling okay, you must isolate at home to stop the spread. And you must book a test immediately. You can book a test as normal throughout the festive season. Use the NHS COVID-19 app or go to gov.uk/coronavirus.
Stay alert, control the virus, save lives.
Exclusive full match commentary of
Newcastle versus Liverpool. Coverage from 7:45. Kick-off at 8 on TalkSport.
Official broadcast partner of the Premier League.
In a big night of Premier League football, saw Brighton lose home by a goal to 0 against Arsenal, Southampton 0-0 against West Ham, West Brom got tonked 5-0 at home against Leeds, Burnley beat Sheffield United by a goal to 0, and United go second, 2 points behind leaders Liverpool with a 1-0 win. They left it late against Wolves. 08717 2233 44. We'll be taking your calls for at least the first hour, more if there are more. We've got the Ralph Ellis back pages tomorrow tonight. Kevin Hatchard talks European football. We've got the midnight train. Gareth Miles talks tech.
Bit of tech.
Bit of gadge.
Bit of gadge. Well done, James.
And we've got a bit of tech. And a bit later on, we've got a bit of tech. Yep. And tech. Yep. We'll be joined by tech. Yep. Okay, he's got the finger on the button. Colin Lewin will be joining us a bit later on. Yep. Yeah, I think so. Woo-woo. Formerly head of medics at Arsenal. We'll be getting his view about the festive schedule, how exhausting it can be for players, etc., how dangerous it can be for players. And we've got another game of It's Not a Question of Sport.
That's right.
Oh, and a bit of tech as well. He's got his finger there. I mean, he looked away. You know, like when footballers do the pass and they kick it the right and they look, the no-look pass. That's what James just did, the no-look woo. He just did it. Bit of tech coming up tonight. See him look away. We've got like Ronaldinho on the decks in there. Let's take your call, shall we, on a busy night of football. 08717 222334. Heathrow Rich is up next. Hello, Heathrow Rich.
Right, Rich.
Hey, boys, all right?
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling a bit better.
You should do. 2 wins on the bounce. Have you spoken to Jason since the Chelsea game?
No, I didn't.
Go on then.
Jace. All right, Jace.
All right, Rich.
I speak to Jace after the Chelsea game. All I wanted to do is, because last time I spoke to Jace was when he was on with Perry.
Yeah.
And
what did I say?
I was distraught that you were talking about Arsenal being in a relegation battle. Now, as it stands, we're 8 points off top 4 and 9 points away from the relegation. Mm-hmm. So are we in a relegation battle anymore? Have you seen our next 5 games?
I've seen where you are in the league. That's all. You've asked about relegation battle. All I'm saying, you've asked the question. I'll just give you a straight answer.
And you saw your first 14 games as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not in a relegation battle. I would be really surprised if we finished out of the top.
A Palace?
Sorry?
A Palace?
What about Palace?
Are they in a relegation battle?
Yeah.
I don't know where they are in the league.
Well, they're 1 point behind you. And Newcastle, they're 2 points.
Well, to be honest, they wouldn't be the teams that readily spring to mind to be in a relegation battle. But all I'm going to say is that even without Partey and Gabriel and other players, like, he seems to be getting through it. I'm not making any big predictions, but we're not in a relegation.
You just said you're going to finish top 6.
No, I said, don't say what I did say. Listen, in the last 5 weeks, you two have nominated Tottenham to win the league. You've nominated Chelsea to win the league. You gave Liverpool the league, and Andy's now saying that you can win the league. The only team that's going to win the league, and you two haven't mentioned, is Man City.
Oh, you think City will win the league?
Definitely.
Okay, right.
Definitely.
Yeah, they can. City can win the title. Of course they can.
Do you think Arsenal are going to get top 6, Rich?
Yeah, I think we've got a really good chance of being in the top 6. I really do.
That's not what I said, though. That would be the answer to, do you think you've got a really good chance of getting top 6? The question is, do you think you'll get it? Here, look, watch it. Jason's going to ask me if he thinks United will get top 4. Come on, Jay.
Do you think United will get top 4?
Yeah. So, do you think Arsenal will get top 6?
Well, now you give me practice and now you rehearse it. Yes.
Okay.
Where's that £500 bet? You're dusting off those 50s, Rich.
Listen, you putting your They're popping up. I can hear them popping up now. I'll have any bet you want.
What was the £500 bet?
He's unbelievable, Rich.
What was the £500 bet? Top 4?
He said they're going to finish second.
Oh, yeah, second.
No, I didn't. I said top 4 and you wouldn't have the bet.
I know, we've had the bet.
Andy wouldn't even have the wear a Tottenham shirt or wear a Liverpool shirt bet. He wouldn't
I'd never have that. I'd never have that, Richard.
But I would still bet 600. I still bet £500. I'll tell you what I'll do. I won't have a bet with you of it. Right. If we finish in the top 6, if we don't finish in the top 6, I'll donate £500 to any charity you decide.
All right.
No, I won't even have a bet with you.
It's the Sports Bar charity. Going out for a big barbecue in the summer.
I was going to say, nothing will be open anyway, so you've got your money safe. Rich, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. Thanks, but have a good New Year if we don't speak to you before.
Happy New Year, Rich.
All right, boys. See you later.
Cheers. There you go. Rich.
He's perky now, isn't he? Do you remember he phoned up a couple of weeks ago? I mean,
End of the world.
End of the world.
End of the world.
And now look at him.
Gary's a Liverpool fan. Let's speak to him. Hello, Gary. Good evening.
All right, guys.
Oh, how are you?
Yeah, good. Excellent, Gary. How are you?
What are you calling about loads of rubbish?
Pardon?
Liverpool, the champions.
Sorry, Gary, can you talk in the phone rather than try and eat it? Gary, try holding the telephone and not moving it when you speak.
It sounds like he's unwrapping it. Is that wrapped up as a Christmas present?
I said, Liverpool, the champions.
Right.
United